Mr. Aaron did not know that elders will be coming here today. They're making you climb the stairs. Please be mindful as you come up. Thank you very much, sir. Also, this beautiful day, we have the pleasure of introducing the Executive Vice Chairman of the Nigerian Communications Commission, the multiple award-winning professor who successfully spearheaded the attainment and surpassing of Nigeria's national broadband target in 2018 and is on the verge of realizing that of 2025. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Professor Umaru Garba Dambata, ably represented this morning by Dr. Omoni Obieton, Head Online Media at the Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC.
You're most welcome, sir.
A round of applause to him, sir. You can never miss him out in the crowd because of his very distinct hairstyle. Thank you very much, sir. I want to be like you when I grow up, sir. Thank you very much.
And Mr. Chris?
Waji.
Yes, please. He's founder and chief architect, Mobile Software Solutions. And today he is ably represented by delectable Inkem Dilimbego. She is the MD Future Software Limited.
Please let's appreciate him.
As we bring up
to the stage. Thank you very much. A round of applause for her, please. All right. Also join me to make welcome a futurist, an MD of New Horizons, a capacity building company. Sir, your last presentation at the Division Summit actually gave me hope. Ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome Mr. Tim Akao to the table. Please, you need to appreciate Mr. Tim because he sees the future. Thank you very much, sir, for coming. And thanks for giving me hope the last time. You said the future is bright, that robots will not take my job. Thank you very much, sir. You're welcome once again. All right, please join me to make welcome today a very special guest of honor and chief launcher at today's event, Nigeria's former vice president and PDP's presidential flag bearer in the 2023 general elections. Guests, ladies and gentlemen, please join me to make welcome Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, GCON, ably represented this morning by barrister Mr. Uyi Giwa Osage. A round of applause for him, sir. Thank you very much, sir. You're most welcome. Most welcome.
All right. Seated very comfortably is the General Counsel, Company Secretary for FSDH Holding Company. She goes by the name iDevil Odu Thomas. Please let's put our hands together as she makes herself recognized.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for coming.
All right, joining us in no time, we have Lagos State Commissioner for Science and Technology, Mr. Hakeem Fan. Let's appreciate them. So as soon as they're coming, the ushers will help make them to the table. We'll also be expecting Miss this beautiful Thursday morning. Dr. Emmanuel Ekuwem is the Secretary of the Akwa Ibom State Government and former President at ATCON. Please let's appreciate him in absentia. Thank you very much. Oh, cool. I meant to understand that Mr. Hakeem will be joining us online. So let's give him some e-wave from wherever he's watching us from. Sir, you're most welcome electronically, and we hope to be hearing from you. Yes, a heat wave, you know, like an emoji to welcome you. Thank you very much, sir.
Larry Ajayi is the Chief Executive Officer of PNet Informatics, the first internet service provider in Nigeria. He also doubles as the former president of the Association of Telecommunications Companies of Nigeria, ATCON. In due time, he would be represented and called up.
Please let's appreciate him in absentia. Also, Ms. Funke Okpeke, founder of Main One, she'll be joining us today very soon. Can we also make welcome the man that has brought all of us here today, Mr. Aaron Ukode, the author of today's book and the convener of eWorld Forum. Mr. Aaron, please do us the honors. In a very special way, we want to appreciate all guests, especially those that got in here early as possible. I see you, MD CEO, Eagle's Nest. Thank you very much, ma'am, for coming. And all of our guests that made out time to be here as early as 9 a.m. It's a peculiar city here in Lagos, Nigeria. And then we know how it is, especially on work days. So we really appreciate you for making our time to be here. And we hope that other guests will be joining us. Actually, most of our guests will be joining us online because, of course, we sent out invites for that. Still, yeah, in the season, though COVID is no longer here, but we need to observe some of these protocols too. So guests, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching us from wherever you are, please appreciate yourselves for making our time to be here today. Thank you very much again. A round of applause for yourselves. At this point, we're going to be taking the second stanza of the Nigeria's national anthem. Of course, that will suffice for our opening prayer. Please, guests, ladies and gentlemen, let's be on our feet. DJ, can you cue us in for the national anthem? Thank you very much. Let's give a round of applause to our great country, Nigeria. Please be seated. All right, you made mention of how we're, going back at history and looking at all the amazing gadgets our guests are holding today. If we want to flip it back 20 years ago, sir, Mr. Chairman, sir, permit me to please ask you this before we move on. What your first phone was like, sir, and how it made you feel using it back then.
And perhaps how it sounded when it rang.
Can I remember? The first phone was actually an analog phone. And I think Aaron tried to capture in this book the beginning of the various telecommunication stages in Nigeria. It started with desk, the phones you have on the table. Mobile only started in the 90s, and eventually those of us who are old enough would have heard about Not 9 Not, which was the main analog phone, and then before the digital that started in 2001. So which was yours? Mine. Yes, the very first one you used.
I remember then when our firstborn then came back with Nokia 3310. We gathered for night prayers that is. We had a prayer session and we had to pray before opening it.
Opening the phone.
Yes, so which was yours?
It might be that 3310.
3310. If you don't have 3310, if you've never used 3310, we are not mates. Sir, want to share yours with us?
3310.
3310. Are you the 3310 gang?
Same here.
3310. Sir, you too?
I think it was 3210. Mine was a 3210.
Sir, you senior us. Okay, that one came before 33.
I honestly can't.
Okay, interesting. Oh, guests, ladies and gentlemen, please join me to make welcome to the table Dr. Emmanuel Ekuwem, the Secretary to the Akwa Ibom State Government and former President of ATCOM. He's been a dogged advocate of ubiquitous broadband connectivity across the country. Guests, ladies and gentlemen, please join me to make welcome Dr. Emmanuel Ekuwem. Please to the table, sir. Thank you very much. Doctor looks like someone that used 3310 too. Doctor, did you use it? You're welcome, sir. How many of us had Samsung Blue Eyes then? After that, I guess after the 3310, Samsung came that had this, and then the Hello Moto, and then this other one that as it rings, the neighbor that you are trying to pepper them will be hearing the sound, and it will look like you have just arrived. You know, these are some of the things. I like the fact that Doctor tried taking us. We'll listen to all of that today and how Mr. Aaron has successfully documented all of this. Thank you very much, sir, for that throwback. At this point, let's invite the man that has brought us here, Mr. Aaron Ukodie, for his opening welcome address. Thank you very much, Mr. Aaron. Mr. Aaron, please. Let's appreciate him as he comes to the podium.
I'll go straight to my welcome address. It gives me great pleasure that today has finally arrived. It's much more heartwarming to see you all honor my invitation to grace this occasion. I wish to particularly appreciate the former Vice President and presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party and Waziri Adamawa for accepting to grace this occasion. I understand he desired to be here personally but could not because he had traveled out of the country for a break and in preparation for the 2023 presidential election campaigns. He has, however, sent a very worthy representative, Barrister Uyi Giwa Osage. Thank you very much, sir, for coming. My warm appreciations also go to Dr. Enes Undukwe, former EVC of the NCC and current chairman of MTN, someone I hold in very high esteem for the help he has been to me personally and to ICT journalists. Some of us prospered in our media enterprise because of the assistance he gave to us for the 10 years he was EVC of NCC. During which time the foundation and excellent structures of the telecom regulatory environment were established, nurtured, and prospered. My gratitude also goes to Dr. Emmanuel Ekwem, the Akwa Ibom State Government Secretary, who though has left the industry partially to go into government and politics, but has continued to receive my calls and assist me in many ways. It is through him I first heard the phrase broadband ubiquity some 20 years ago. The current EVC of the NCC, Professor Umar Dambata, was very helpful in the process that led to the writing of his book and has followed in the footsteps of Dr. Undukwe to continue to assist the ICT media. Thank you, sir, for accepting to give the lead paper at this event. Also, I welcome Sir Demola Ledukome just called. He was supposed to be here. He said he has cold, so he's unable to make it. Sir Demola Ladekomo is one of the pioneers of computing in Nigeria and someone who had vision for the cashless societies in the past 20 years, which we are today seeing. He set many processes in place and structures to enable that and bring that to pass. I also welcome someone in those days when we were learning to use some of these tools. Someone used to call us to New Horizon, to a place in Ikeja, to learn how to use computer. He used to invite us several times. We would go there and to journalists, a lot of journalists have actually gone through that process many times to learn how to use computer. He's been one who has also helped a lot of Nigerians in building capacity. He's one of the foremost capacity builders in the use of ICT tools and applications. The Oracle, Mr. Waje, you know, there are 3 persons in the industry in those days when we were reporting, when the industry was really very bubbling. Now, a lot of discussions around topics and issues at the time when the regulations and processes were being put in place. if those 3 persons are not in your meeting is not started. I think it was Mr. Iromantu that actually referred to them as the first 11 of ICT in Nigeria. And the striking force, 3 of them, one was in the left, one is in the center, the other one on the right, were the IT parable, who is engineer Titi Omoitu. Unfortunately, he couldn't make it. The man has retired to his village where he's, perhaps he's watching from online. And the other person was Dr. Ekwem. We used to enjoy anytime we go to events and they show up and they make their presentation. The third one is the one we call IT Oracle. That's Mr. Chris Uwaje, who is represented by the daughter who has done a lot in ICT too, following after the footstep of the father. I remember when Mr. Uwaje launched his book, I remember that drama that the 2 daughters put on, very interesting. And I also took note that you were not theater graduates, but you did a very good presentation that day. I enjoyed it. Dr. Ni Ibieton is representing the EVC. Dr. Ni Ibieton, when I was writing this book, gave some useful suggestions. I thank you for doing that. As we said, the Commissioner for Science and Technology would make his presentation online. And when it is time, we'll link him up to do that. I would like to say that the ICT industry has become the poster boy of the Nigerian economy. It is one industry that everything seems to be working right. It is so because of certain men who work tirelessly, putting their expertise and diligence, ensuring that best practices are enforced and have their reign. The industry has shown that when you put the right Nigerians, the right persons, in the right places unfettered, they can achieve what it is intended that they achieve. Dr. Ndikwe showed it, and everyone, no one can, I mean, you don't have to tell the story of Dr. Ndikwe. Everyone knows it. It was, however, not all rosy. Getting us where we are in the digital economy required some doggedness and fight, as you would read you read it in the book. There were fights to overcome those who tried severally to put traps on the way of the journey of the ICT industry. It was in the process of writing the book that we got to know that is why the former vice president and the PDP presidential candidate has a part to play here. You read it in the book, what it did. Dr. Ndukwe fought a lot of battles with people who tried to abort the process. We remember a lot of them. Ministers, the BP, name them, but he overcame them all. He stood firm. And I remember, so let me let this out of the bag so that you get it up front. We got to learn, because we were all at the auction, and everything was going on well. I can't remember, I think there was a temporary break, if I remember very well. I have to be corrected. We learned later that a call came from a minister. The president was not around then, and asking that the auction results should not be announced. Ndukwe looked worried, but he knew what to do. He called his chairman, late Ahmed Joda, one of those super PAMSEC, a very diligent and a man of integrity. He called him and said, see what I'm hearing. So that one put a call to the VP. The VP said, no, we did not discuss anything like that. Please go ahead. That is the story we heard, and it is documented in the book. So those are, I think that should be one of the last battles that we think that getting the process of the digital mobile license off ground. So as some would want to make us believe, the industry did not start today. Some had laid solid foundations and structures that we're now building on today. Some of my very distinguished speakers may speak to these things. The book reviewer would also do justice in telling you what the book is all about. I think the book reviewer, we should ask him to come up to. Biodun Bayo. Biodun Bayo is my colleague. He's going to do justice to the book. He's one of those ICT journalists from Punch to other newspapers. He became a PRO of Multilinks, publication manager of Multilinks, and also MTS. So he knows everything that went on. He's one of those that profited from Dr. Ndukwe. That is why he's growing so fat. So you're welcome. I'll be through. I hope this does not disappoint me as I'm concluding. So, apart from the lead speaker, who would be speaking to a specific subject, all others who would speak may decide to speak as they have chosen. There would be some awards to selected persons. It is true that everyone who has played a part in getting us here, including me, deserve an award. But not all of us would receive award today. Those who would receive recognition here would do so on our behalf. Our MCs will try to make this quick enough so that we can leave on time. Please, when it's time to launch the book, be gracious and kind enough to launch it with huge sums of money so I can be encouraged to write another and achieve the quality print the book has achieved. I thank the NCC, MTN, Nine Mobile, Mean1, IXPN, NERA. They're actually supporting this book for their support, and indeed all others that would support this book project today. Please, thank you very much, and God bless you. I'm also aware that some of them will soon join us as we go on. God bless you. Thank you very much, sirs.
Thank you very much. Please, he deserves a better round of applause. I can see the businessman nature of him coming out. Please, when it's time, launch with a gracious amount of money. Mr. Aaron, the last I checked, you're not from the Southeast. But it's okay. That's why we're here to support you. And did I say that Mr. Aaron's book is always very voluminous? You write for federal government. Nice to know. And then we can't wait, at least to help us. I mean, for people that have been there, for us ICT journalists of today, we're just starting, and you guys have, laid that precedent for us to work on, and then we're just enjoying now without knowing how it all started. So please, a round of applause for all the veterans in the building. Yes, he did mention that for every sector working perfectly well, it's been moved and championed by professionals. Getting us where we are today requires doggedness and selflessness, and is really applauding to share some of the strides and those who took them at that point in time. A round of applause for him one more time, and to all that did justice. I mean, that word on our national anthem, the labors of our heroes past will not be in vain. It will not be today, as we'll be rewarding some people that contributed greatly towards the advancement of technology in our country. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been asked not to waste time at all, and I hope that will finish in good time. Next on our agenda is our chairman's opening speech. Please join me to make welcome Engineer Ernest Ndukwe to the podium for his opening speech. He is not called the godfather of Nigerian telecoms revolution for nothing. He actually did play a good role in that, and we'll be listening to all of that today. Please, a round of applause until he gets here. Be careful with the stairs, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Now I can have a bird's eye view of all the people in the audience. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I'd like to thank God for this bright morning, and also to congratulate my friend, Mr. Aaron Okodie, for the effort in putting this together and for his invitation to me to attend this event. However, if you people don't mind, before we start, Aaron, this year we lost a colossus in the telecom industry. And even last year, Ahmed Joda died. If it might be proper to just have a 1-minute silence, just to pay respect to these individuals. May their souls rest in perfect peace. Amen. Thank you very much, everyone. It is really great to see many of the old faces here. I'd like to quickly acknowledge the representatives of the former Vice President. I also want to acknowledge the presence of a secretary to Akwa Ibom State Government, my friend Dr. Emmanuel Ekuam. Also, Tim, long time.
Yes, sir.
Nice to see you here today. Dr. Bieton, also great to see you. And our up-and-coming guru in the industry. I'm always excited when I see the next generation of ICT people, and Kemdelim represents that for me. So nice to see you, my dear. Yeah. And then every other person here, Bumi and a couple of other people. I can see some familiar faces right at the back there. I greet you all. I'd like to also congratulate Aaron for his tenacity and courage to write and publish this book. Yeah, you can give him a round of applause. It's not his first. He actually wrote some book about me during my time at the NCC. And then this one kind of catalogs the telecom industry right from the pre-NCC days up to today, and in various chapters that make the book easy and interesting to read. I'm sure the book reviewer will do justice to that, so I will not spend too much time talking about that. But it's a very great work, and also I must commend the printing. Many books these days sometimes come out badly printed, but this one seems to be well produced and done well. So congratulations again, Aaron. I must say why I'm congratulating him many times is that I left NCC first quarter of 2010, and I'm still preparing to write a book about my tenure in the NCC. So seeing his book has encouraged me a little bit. I hope I'll get up from my slumber and do something like he has done. Many people have been on me trying to get me to put pen on paper and talk about a few things. it's never easy to see everything from one perspective. Aaron has talked about what he saw as a journalist. Me, when I write my book, I'll give more details about what I saw with the many battles that were fought to make sure that we maintained the integrity that was required for the industry. It was not easy, but we did it, and we thank God for that. Aaron has also provided the bridge that connected all those years together in this book. And it's just interesting, and I think the last section of the book talked about the contributions of the journalists of those days. I thought I would see many more of them here today. But they were quite active and did a lot of good work in reporting the industry. And it's quite interesting that many of them, some of them ended up joining the NCC, some went to other institutions, and they've not stopped writing, even when they've retired from the NCC and places like that, they've continued to write. So I must commend them for their work over the years. Aaron talked about many battles. Indeed, there were battles. And he talked about the particular one when we were at the place, the hotel, where the hotel where the auction was to take place. There was indeed a phone call, and there was indeed an attempt to stop the auction. When I got that call from the then minister, let me say that Aaron had beaten me to it because it was going to be one of the highlights of my own book. But he has released it. When I got the call, for some reason I had this, I don't know what I call it, stubborn streak in me. I was determined that we were not going to stop the auction anyway. It actually happened before the bidding started, actually. It's not as if it was just the results. And so I called the chairman. He was a bit more settled than myself because I wanted to just go and continue. He said, no, wait. So he asked me whether I had the phone number of the vice president. And I said yes, because that time my brother was actually the physician to the vice president. In fact, they are still together up till today. So I got the phone number, we called the vice president at that time. And like a very seasoned person, because I was very impressed because he said, stop the auction. He said, for what? And we said that somebody called and said, so and so. And the vice president said that he was one of the last people that saw the head of state before he left for his trip. I think it was a trip to Iran or somewhere. and that nothing like that was mentioned. And he said, look, you could just go ahead and continue what you are doing. I think that was courageous. I think that was the mark of a decision maker, because somebody else would have said, okay, wait, let me go and start calling, and he just didn't. He said, look, you could just go ahead with that. I don't think it was correct. And true, it was not a correct. I think some people were actually colluding to scuttle the process. And the reason I concluded later was that the auction happened. We had 5 companies who were to bid for the license. They had wanted us to disqualify 2 companies, and we insisted that we were not going to disqualify any company. And eventually, all the 5 came to the bidding table. So those who wanted us to disqualify 2 companies were actually canvassing for that, because once you disqualify 2, there were only 3 licenses left. The rest of the 3 will get the licenses automatically without a bid. So we said no. And we went to the auction with 5 companies, and then they came with this joker trying to stop it. And that's how, because of the courage and the decision that the Vice President took at that time, it encouraged us to continue the auction. Whether we would have continued without his approval, maybe, maybe not, because we were already there. Something else happened later too, during my tenure. We had a licensing process, and some minister also came again and said we should cancel the process. I insisted that we were not going to cancel the process. In fact, the matter got up to the president. I stood my ground, because when you're in this kind of position, I didn't go there because I didn't have anything to do. I was managing director of GEC Telecom already. I was living in Ikoyi in a company residence before I was appointed the EVC of NCC. So it wasn't as if I was desperate. In fact, I never even dreamt of becoming the EVC of NCC. True. In fact, the position I had actually wanted was that of MD of NITEL, because I was so unhappy about the performance of NITEL, and it was such a big company with so much potential, but was very badly run. So that was the kind of idea some of us had. Going to be the regulator of the industry was not part of the plan. But God had his own plan, because when Iroman II was the EVC, I presented so many papers in a number of their programs trying to encourage the liberalization of the telecom industry. So I guess my coming in was, my appointment was, look, go and put your whatever you've been talking about into practice. Like the Americans will say, walk the talk, or put your money where your mouth is. So I took it as a challenge, and I accepted. But many more stories will come when that my book gets written eventually. But one thing that guided us throughout was insisting on the independence of the regulatory body, because that's very critical for any regulator. Any regulator that is not independent would have a problem, because you must be independent of a political institution as much as possible. That means decisions are taken not because of who you know or the party that the person belongs to, but it must be for the benefit of the country at any point in time. It's very critical. So, this is my speech, and I'll end the speech by welcoming you all once again and say, please enjoy yourself. I hope we'll have a great time together. The masters of ceremony are doing a great job already, so I think we'll have a good time. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you very much. Please, he deserves a better round of applause. Please, let's keep clapping until it gets to his seat. Wow. All right. Our chairman at today's occasion have actually given us some deep secrets and battles there in the interest of the industry. For every technological victory that we enjoy today as a nation, unsung heroes and entities actually sacrifice sweat and blood for that to come to the fore. Please, let's appreciate him one more time. Sir, I was talking about how Mr. Aaron's book is voluminous, and you want to write your own, sir. It will be project, sir. And then we're looking forward to it. We will read it, amen. Will we read it? In Jesus' name we'll read it. We can't wait. So, sir, let's receive anointing to write. Amen. Thank you very much, sir, for that. We can't wait to have that book. Well, we're moving quickly. We'll be taking goodwill messages. Permit me to tweak the program a bit. We'll take all our goodwill messages before we now come to the lead paper presentation. And up next on our list, we have the Secretary to the Akwa Ibom State Government and former President of ATCOM, Dr. Emmanuel Ekuwe, to please come on stage for his goodwill. Please, a round of applause for him, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Mr. Aaron said he learned ubiquitous from you. Hope we'll be hearing more big grammar today, sir.
Thank you, the lady MC. Let me please recognize the chairman of this event, my very good friend and senior brother from Ife, Engineer Dr. Engineer Dr. Enes Ndukwe. I especially recognize the author of this book, my friend, Mr. Aaron Okodie, my friend Tim, the young, graceful digital luminary, the daughter of my very good friend, Dr. Chris Uwaje, the representative of the vice president, all my friends who are sitting on the high table here. This industry, I was listening, I was determined, Aaron, to be in this event, Mr. Chairman. I was really determined. And I told my governor, Your Excellency, I must be present in this event. And that he made sense to me because Fela used to say that person will not know where in they come from. You know, if you know where in they, I know where in they go. And I agree with Fela in Kalakuta in those days. We can only define where we are in context. And I was looking forward to seeing somebody here from NCC. Who is from NCC? Okay, fine, good. We are celebrating the past by the documentation of the past as done by Aaron. But I must say that if we lose sight of what led us to where we are today, the kind of men and women who drove the prosperity, the way he uses that word, then we would have lost something extremely important. NCC And I really commend Great Chief Ernest for commending members of the media. In fact, to tell you the truth, it was because of the media, apart from the fact that the author is a media person, that made me to come to this event. We, the professionals, so to say, we have not sufficiently given them kudos for it. I know, I thought Professor Dampata would be here. When Ernest, and I like the way Aaron spoke about Ernest, this is exactly my position too. The media drove the narratives for or towards where we are today. They drove it and it was supporting them. And that's why in my remarks, I remember with a lot of nostalgic attachment, Mr. Sonny Aragbapore. Aaron Ukodia is the author of this book. I remember Mpe Abang. I remember Sylvester Ebodage, who is, I think, a pastor now. I remember Shino Badaru. I remember my very good friend Bayero Agabi. I remember Don Pedro Aganbi. I remember B.E. Sonny at times a bit difficult for me. He's also my things far short, yeah, something like that. B.E. I remember Tayo Deusi. I remember Bumi. I always forget Bumi's surname. I remember Remy Weke. I remember Ufoma Dairo. They work assiduously hard. At NS, you were supporting them. But every development, they had to go to seminars and workshops and conferences. Because if you do not create thirst and passion, if you do not, you will not create the market, and there will be nobody to want to come into the market. These men and women of the media, they help NCC to drive thirst, amplify passion, to get the market ready for us to be where we are today. So media guys and girls, we appreciate you. And also within the context of this book, I remember from nostalgia too, with a lot of love and appreciation. And thank God, Senior Great Affair, you are 1 minute silence for Engineer Lawege and co, whom the good Lord had called. And also remember, not in the context of their having passed on, Engineer Roman too, Engineer Johnson Asinugo, those of us who were here, Engineer Dr. Emmanuel Nama, this doyen, the digital luminary Ernest Ndukwe, Eugene Jua, Shola Taylor, late Professor G. Ojai. I remember we had a workshop for federal permanent secretaries on even use of computers that Aaron was talking about. And I would never forget, I came from Italy, from Trieste, UNESCO Center, for Professor Jai and I to teach the federal permanent secretaries to realize how to synchronize the position of a mouse or the mouse pad to the position of a monitor. I'm telling you, or to the cursor on the monitor. I'm telling you, I saw federal do things like this. They're almost falling. But you see, this is how the industry grew, people to learn. And YJ, my friend, would laugh over it. They said, Ima, make sure, make this big bed not fall down. Oh. You're trying to align the position of the mouse on the mouse pad to the cursor on their monitor. It was that bad. You enter offices, you see computers were covered with dust cover. It became a status symbol to have a computer that was not being used. We must not forget these things. So, Ernest, you know, Brother Ernest, I don't speak pidgin, as you know. I take God beg you. The sooner you write this book, the better. Yes, the sooner you write it, the better. Because it's going to inspire the young ones. And you inspire, like Fela says, if you don't know where you're going, if you know where you are and where you want to go, it would help them a great deal. And Aaron, you have the audacity to put your thoughts on paper. You know, I respect you a lot. Very few persons shy away from putting their thoughts on paper because you will be challenged and it can be contested. So if you're an intellectual mediocre and you are intellectually timid, no, let me not write so that no one will challenge me. But you do this very regularly. That's a mark of an intellectually sound person, self-confident, and you're ready to hold forth and defend the positions that you believe in. That's courage. And I will really plead with my friend from NCC. We are not yet there. We are not yet there. You know, Adrian was talking about I used to say that broadband in its ubiquity in order to ensure productivity in ubiquity. That is a very serious point. Because when you have access to broadband, you are very productive. And I used to say that the ease and speed with which you access knowledge and the ease and speed with which you translate the acquired knowledge into boosting your productivity where you are, it's all give you competitive advantage. That's exactly what I used to say. So, we are not yet there. Every field of I'm in government today, I'm in the public sector or public service, still grossly unused. This is the point. NCC, note this, I'm telling you the truth. NS did this, we used to say we have conquered voice. And we used to talk about triple play or quadruple play. This is we were hoping. We are not yet there. We have a security challenge in the country today. How can you have serious security challenges and you have 4G, 5G, even 3G, basic technology? People destroy, kill, maim. Nobody is able to capture the event or the persons. Simple technology. NS used to organize the Nigerian Telecom Summit. You have forgotten that. Don't forget it. This gentleman, Telecom Summit, Telecom Consumers Parliament. I was a consultant to ITU. If you saw the way Oyibo in ITU Geneva were celebrating the Nigeria's originality in having a talking point between the operator and the consumer. This gentleman. All right? But what I've observed is that NCC, the Telecom Summit had ceased. It was an equivalent not of the Telecom Plenipot, but the Telecom Development Conference of ITU, where you exchange ideas. NS will go to floor 02 in Transcorp Hilton, and all the CEOs, frank talk. And then during the plenary on the ground floor of the Congress Hall, exchange of ideas with exhibition. These days, I don't know whether they're talking to themselves. You see, don't be uncomfortable exchanging ideas. You lose nothing. As I said, I'm in government, and I've found the power of having to meet, having to talk, having to exchange ideas. You can't stay in the cocoon. No, nobody stays in the cocoon. So that has to come back. And that's why when I saw the name of the former vice president, I'm a PDP president. I'm proud of my party. No apologies to offer. When I saw his name, I said, I hope that they would not think that Aaron is bringing this gentleman because of election. No. I think he brought him because of his role during the Telecom Summit and his role in other things that NS was doing as vice president. He has already given you one example. President Obasanjo will come for the opening ceremony of the Telecom Summit. The VP would be with us on the last day and in the gala and dinner. Constantly contributing ideas. And I said, I think this is part of it. And even the licensing itself. So that is his role. So and that you invited him, I'm proud of you too for having the courage. He was not, you don't belong to any political party like I do. NS does not, but me, I am. That's what I'm saying that you don't. That's what I'm saying that you don't, but me, I do. And that is the essence. So for us to once again go back to the drawing board of exchange of ideas, security, education, health, transportation, agriculture, applications of ICT, applications of telecom in those industries. As I said, I'm in government, we are not there at all. To match who has what to who lacks what, using our tools. Not there. If I see people see food, people produce food. Go to our back, go to all the markets. And the poor women subsistence for agriculture, they're not able to take the goods to the market. They don't even know who needs the goods. Simple technology. And that's why you used to have those exhibitions when you were EVC in Transcorp. Whatever skills you've developed, whatever prototypes you developed, you used to exhibit it. Wow, so this is available, no more. So everybody is enjoying WhatsApp and Facebook. That is 0.01% of the power of the industry. So my request Aaron, and for those of us who are gathered here, given my background now in government, is the applications of the tools of our industry to boost productivity and to create jobs. We are not yet there, NCC. We are not yet there. Even NICDA too, as I always say, no apologies to offer because it's the truth. Telecom created NICDA. The telecom industry created NICDA. Late Professor Georgia, even as a unit, because of the passion. So this is what we need to do now, that we bring our tools, what we are good at, what we know, to the doorstep of the average Nigerian. Go to the markets, go to Balogun, Aria, Omata, Ibadan, Kano. Things are perishing. Nobody knows who is doing what. Somebody asked me the day before yesterday in Transcorp Hilton during breakfast, said, how come Nigerians are not everywhere in all of Africa? I became a little bit apologetic. I said part of it was that a lot of those ones around Nigeria are all francophone, and that we are anglophone, and Nigerians are not very jumpy at acquiring a second international language. I was just blowing grammar. So you don't know what? This is what we need to apply the tools of the telecom industry to boost productivity, ensure national security, create jobs, take boys and girls off the street, put food on people's table, make people happy, enhance patriotism, and create a sense of a renaissance of national well-being using the tools of our industry. May the good Lord bless and keep us all.
Thank you so, so much. Please, can we put our hands together thunderously? Thank you again. Thank you very kindly, Dr. Emmanuel Ekwuem, Secretary to the Akwa Ibom State Government. He said the media drove the narrative to where we are today. And then I am asking, for a minute, I'm just wondering, where are we today? Exactly. What I mean is this. When I wake up in the morning, or rather when we all wake up in the morning, typically, what do we do? Typically, what do you do in Kemdilim? Grab your phone. I mean, for whatever reasons, to check the alarm, to what else? What other possibilities are there? Your missed calls, perhaps if you're a person of faith, your devotional. So it's where we are today. I mean, that's what it did to me. That's what I thought. Where are we today? So once again, please, our hands together for Dr. Emmanuel Ekwuem. I appreciate. And sir, you had so many names you could recall. I mean, I think that perhaps next time, Uncle Aaron, when you are going on this journey and you need some extra ideas, I didn't say anything. I just looked in his direction. All right. I've been asked to welcome very specially Mr. Ted Iwere. He was pioneer future editor of The Guardian and former MD Daily Independent. I like the way you ended it by writing my former Oga. Okay, he's here present. You are welcome, sir. You are welcome.
All right, just join me to make welcome Engineer Abraham Oshami, Head Spectrum Administration, NCC. He is standing instead of the EVC of the NCC. Please join me to make welcome Engineer to the table. Thank you very much. When Dr. Ekwuem started, he was asking if NCC, I mean, we now have 2 NCC personnel here. We'll be able to do just, Mr. Ni is already here, so we have Engineer to joining us. Thank you very much, sir. Most welcome. And, I mean, Doctor was also talking about how we're experiencing all of the economic and security challenges. We have 4G and 5G. And I want to ask myself, probably for most of us here, if we can change anything in our country today using technology, what do you want to change? Security for you, sir. Dr. Vieton, what would you like to change today? Just one. Youth and employment. Oh, good. Did I tell you what Zoe said? She said she will stop mosquito bites. At least that's the problem.
Yes, it is.
Have you seen mosquitoes in the area? You're from State. I'm a proud daughter of Umparin in local government area of Akwa Ibom State. Thank you very much. The mosquitoes in some parts of the country needs 5G to be eradicated. Maybe you might just be looking towards that end as we think of what to do. So thank you very much, sir, for bringing that thought to us. We continue with our goodwill messages.
All right. Thank you so very much, Louisa. Mr. Chris Uwaje is the founder and chief architect, Mobile Software Solutions, and he's ably represented today by the delectable Inkev Dilimbergo. She is the MD Future Software Limited. Yes, she is the MD Future Software Limited. Please put your hands together as we bring to the lectern. I like how Dr. Emmanuel said the other time when he said the tech guys and girls, and we exchanged a smile at that time. Please put your hands again once.
Thank you very much. Mr. Chairman, members of the High Table, I stand on protocols, all the existing protocols. As Zoe has said, I'm here to represent my father, Mr. Chris Uwaje. But before I read out his goodwill message, I would like to just congratulate Aaron. Congratulations. Okay, somewhere roaming virtually. Congratulations on writing this book. I think it is, like Dr. Ekwem said, it's very important to capture the past. And I would have loved to see a little bit more of young people in this gathering, right? Because we are the ones that benefit the most from understanding the past. The reason why we have issues moving policy forward today is because we have no context, right? And we also forget that our elders, in as much as they may seem old-fashioned, still have a lot of generational knowledge and institutional knowledge that will help us build a stronger foundation. I have always been, thank you, I've always been privileged to poke my little head into gatherings like this. For the last 15 years, I have been daddy's handbag, and all my big uncles on the table know me because I have always been part of these type of gatherings. Stakeholder engagements, and that has given me a lot of context that a lot of my peers lack. And whenever I, tell them we need to bring the older generation, the people who went before us, into these discussions that we're having today to understand context, there's always that, oh, but it's our time, right? And I keep telling them you cannot shine when you have not honored the past and when you don't really understand what has happened and why things are the way that they are, right? The same way that you are not going to necessarily have a 25-year-old be the chairman of a board. It's always a seasoned person, and there's a reason for that, because they have experiences that the 25-year-old simply cannot have. So I think it's important, Aaron, as well, that you find ways to engage the current technology and telecoms ecosystem so that they can also benefit from this historical review. So I will go on to read Mr. Chris Uwaje's remarks. At a special moment in the life of a nation arises a comet full of colors, of refined inspiration, cerebral audacity, and enviable empathy to behold. Today represents one of such very rare moments in the development of Nigeria's digital transformation mission. Therefore, if I make the following submission as a prelude to the public presentation of the book, Nigerian Drivers of Digital Prosperity, by the author, Mr. Aaron Ukudie, founder and CEO of eWorld magazine, it is because I'm passionately concerned and involved and committed to the strategic and sustainable development of the ICT ecosystem in Nigeria and Africa. I have known and worked with Aaron Ukudie for about 3 decades in pursuit of constructive development and positive progression of information and communications technology in Nigeria. A nation without documented history, we are told, will ultimately perish, encumbered by ignorance. I recognize the book as an embodiment of knowledge to conquer the challenges of the digital Olympiad and secure our nation going forward. By authoring and publishing the book, Aaron has secured the future of coming generations from the trauma of a wasted generation. We all owe the author our deepest gratitude for his dedication and resilience beyond the call to duty. I encourage everyone to invest in a copy of the book as your contribution to the development of the youth and children yet unborn. God bless you all. Best wishes, Chris Owaje.
Please, let's appreciate her one more time. We're giving her double applause, one for her and one for Daddy. We call him the oracle of the industry. He's doing a whole lot. And like she said, solving issues contextually is key at making progress. So we hope that in subsequent events, we'll have more young people coming to understand what the past was like so that we can channel the future in the right direction. Sometimes I wonder why they cancel history. I mean, that's a story for another day, right? But it is well. Moving on, we're still taking goodwill messages. We want to round up this program at least before 1 p.m. if we can. We'll try as much as possible to do that. Up next is the MD New Horizon Limited, Mr. Tim Akao, for his presentation. All right, you have something to present? Okay, please, technical guys, get that ready. Also, do let us know if when the Commissioner for Science and Technology is ready to speak with us via Zoom. So we'll be taking this presentation. Immediately when we're done with all of the goodwill messages, we'll move straight to the lead paper presentation by the NCC. Please let's appreciate Mr. Tim. A round of applause for him, please.
While they are trying to put the slides up. Oh, it's up. Okay. I cannot but recognize the chairman of today. Like it's been said, he's been the doyen of the telecom industry, and he has been a very great helper to most of us who are here today. Please, let's give him another round of applause. Dr. Ndukwe. I have 10 slides, and I will limit it to about 10 minutes. I also recognize every other one on the high table. I chose to speak on 5G economy because of the huge ignorance that has been built around 5G. So when Aaron called me, he said, I can speak on anything I want to speak about. And I realized that this will be a very important gathering where we can exchange ideas and live here without some ignorance that we had before today. I call it 5G economy and mega trends. Second slide, please. Okay, you want to see? All right. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, I was careful not to stress those on the high table. Okay. Dr. Ikuwem is positioned properly. Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Yes, briefly, the first slide talks about mega trends. First slide. It talks about mega trends that we have today globally and how that one connects with connectivity. All these mega trends cannot happen. Who is there with the mega trend? First slide. Next slide. Yes, I put here 7 mega trends that has to do with the success of each of them lies on connectivity. Not just connectivity, but robust connectivity. When we talk about digital disruption, we've all witnessed a lot of disruption digitally. For instance, Uber people, they don't own any vehicle, and they control the largest vehicle fleet in the world. That's a disruption of that transportation economy. Those who have been traveling to US 20 years ago, 30 years ago, you all see the yellow cab, you all see all those cabs are history. It is connectivity that can make a company that has only 2 laptops to be valued at $80 billion within the first 3 years of existence, and that's Uber. It relies on connectivity. Second mega trends. Okay. Let me, if okay, it's there. Okay, we talk about demographic shift. This also has a role to play with connectivity in the sense that we have the South countries and the North countries. The North countries are not dying quick, are not giving birth. Therefore, they are operating below replacement level in their population. So they need people in the South who are giving birth, 5 children per family in Africa, 6 children per family in India, to actually work either remotely or move to that place to work. So without robust connectivity, the South countries cannot be benefit to the North country. For instance, Japan is at very serious risk today. Japan is not dying, they are not giving birth, and they are not taking immigrants. I call it the Japan disease, because when you are afflicted with these 3 diseases, not dying, not giving birth, and not taking immigrants, then the country will die. The civilization will die. But they rely on robust connectivity to sustain the civilization. France, the same, is also operating below the replacement level. They are not giving birth, they are not dying, but France is taking immigrants from Francophone African countries. So this demographic shift, for us to benefit and for the youth to benefit, connectivity has to be robust. For our own youth to be able to work in Nigeria, working for companies in US or UK or Europe, there must be robust connectivity. The third one is economic shift. Economy is also shifting in the sense that there is a war against the incumbent dollar, the almighty dollar, the petrodollar. Right now we talk about the ruble petro, the same way we talk about petrodollar 80 years ago. In the last 4 months, because of the Russian-Ukraine war, the value of Russian ruble has actually increased by 40%. There is a war against the continuation of using dollar as the reserve currency. And that has led to the rise of crypto. I call it the death of money and the rise of crypto. But for crypto to work very well, it also depends on robust connectivity. So there is economic shift. If dollar goes down, the West civilization goes down with it. When crypto rises, there will be power shift economically between those of us who pay rent on dollar now. When we use less dollar, we cease to pay the rent, and the economic power of the West goes down with it. So for us to benefit from all these events happening simultaneously, we actually need robust connectivity. Also, there is labor shortage in some areas. For instance, as we speak today, we have vacancy for over 6 million AI experts worldwide. We have millions of vacancies for data science worldwide. In Canada today, they are looking for people, 1.2 million experts right now, today, this morning. There are labor shortages in so many areas. But interestingly, those areas also happen to be areas where connectivity is of essence. And when we talk about climate crisis, this is very interesting and very connected with what we are doing here today. I remember during the COVID period, a lot of stories were there on the social media and everywhere. Okay, the mask from 5G is going to cause the Antichrist, is going to cause a lot of evil has come, devil has come to the world, and is going to kill everybody, all those. That's one aspect of climate crisis. But there are also other aspects of climate crisis that also depends on connectivity. For instance, people are talking of green technology. You want to drive car without using our oil. You want to ride autonomous vehicles so that you can reduce emission. But there cannot be successful autonomous vehicle without robust connectivity. So that's why if you go to Germany today, you already see robot, you already see autonomous driverless vehicle there. But you cannot see it in Africa yet. Because if we are going the same way costs drop, if you are going on driverless vehicle and costs drop, what happens? You are dead. Because you have the T junctions. The same way costs drop, now, if costs drop, then everybody is dead. So if they talk of driverless vehicle in Europe, we can't talk of it here, right now, for all these reasons. And when you talk about platform economy, I always tell the younger ones today that the money today is not in the people that will replace Dangote as the richest man in Africa. They will be around 24, 25, 26 in some few years to come. And they're not going to have that kind of massive factories he is building today. Those factories are good, but the money today is in platform. Facebook is a platform. Amazon is a platform. Alibaba is a platform. But there cannot be successful platform economy without robust connectivity. So it also depends on connectivity. That's why our gathering here today is so crucial. And finally, I put this one, the death of money and the rise of crypto. Whether we like it or not, crypto has come to stay. I know some of you lost money in the last couple of months on crypto coming down, going up. It's always like that with everything new in technology. After some time, we are going to converge, and it's going to reach a level whereby crypto becomes the standard way of exchange of money and value. And when that one comes, then without good internet, we cannot be part of the economy of crypto. Next slide. Yes, I put this one there also for the same reason I said in the beginning, the huge ignorance around 5G. The era of 5G, next slide, yes. No, go up. This is 5G. This is where we are supposed to be before the story of the devil and the people who want to kill people came in. And it's been, in most countries like South Korea, China, US, 5G is actually the order of the day. But we hope that after today's meeting, we have less ignorance about it. 5G is a progression from 1G to 4G and then to 5G. So if 4G didn't kill us, and the third generation also didn't kill us, there is no reason why we should believe that 5G is going to kill us. With 5G, we have, it was in Chicago in 2019, where the first phone was, the first smartphone was connected to 5G network. And also the same day, in South Korea, 5G was also launched simultaneously. As they are launching it in US, in Chicago, it's also been launched in South Korea same day. What are the features of this? You have faster data rates, you have higher connectivity density, and the battery latency is excellent. And then there is a device-to-device communication, so which makes life easier for us and improve overall wireless coverage. 100 billion devices can be connected on 5G. This cannot be done on 4G. So if we still hold on to our ignorance and we refuse to, we are going to have smart home, smart cities, and smart people as well, because there will be chips, Internet of Things you've heard of, but there's also Internet of People right now. Internet of People is, I should be able to know when Dr. Indukwe is leaving his house. If I'm chipped and he's chipped, even though the old people will not want to be chipped, but the younger ones, you cannot escape it. It's yeah, the same way when phone came and people say, oh, this is a box for the devil. But after some time, those who call it a box for the devil, they also cannot do without it. That's also how Internet of People, we cannot do without it. It's scary, but we cannot do without it. We are going to be chipped. Dr. Ndigo is looking at my face. So we have smart home. Smart home is going to work on 5G seamlessly, in the sense that my phone will control my light, my phone will control my fridge, my phone will control my TV, my phone will control my door, my phone will control everything in the house seamlessly. This is only possible under 5G. Then we are going to have healthcare. We've heard of telemedicine. There is a company, there is a doctor in Abuja today from Israel who he practices a little of telemedicine, that you are just there and then the doctor in Israel attends to you and they recommend to you what needs to be done. So the 5G is very good when you talk in terms of healthcare. And then we've talked about automotive industry, which is the driverless vehicle. So it's going to run on 5G. They've tried this in 4 states in China, and it was successful. They started with bus, total autonomous vehicle, and it was successful. But for it to be successful in Nigeria or Africa, we have to migrate to 5G in a massive way. And then we talk about e-learning. That is the school. It's also going to run very well on 5G. You cannot be having good e-learning experience if the internet is not robust enough. And then we talk of gaming, and then we talk of cybersecurity for military. Real life assessment of what is going on is only dependent on when internet is very good. And then we talk about sports. Last slide. So what are the benefits of the 5G economy? It's going to optimize the service delivery, and then it's also going to optimize the decision-making process in every organization. It's projected that 13.2 trillion in global economic value will be added by 2035, and it's going to generate 22 million jobs, just 5G economy alone. And then digital inclusion is going to reduce rural urban drift. I've always said it that the way we operate in Nigeria is totally not sustainable. There is going to be a time when Lagos will burst if the drift from the rural villages is not stopped, because there is a limit to what every city can take. But because the internet penetration is still not as robust as it should be, so everybody, when you graduate from Benin, from Edo, from Anambra, you all want to come to Lagos. But when the 5G becomes the mainstream, then you can stay in your village and then you still work in Lagos. We talk about IoT connected devices. By 2030, we are going to have like 125 billion IoT devices will be connected, growing at an average of 18% annually. But more importantly, for all of us that are here, in the next 8 years, each of us will be having at least 15 connected devices on the internet. 15. You ask me what are the 15? Your vehicle is one. Your vehicle is going to be on the internet, whether you like it or not. Your phone is one. Your phone is already on the internet. Interestingly, your home is going to be on the internet. Google has already made that possible, that if I want to know the house of Dr. Ndukwe, I just Google it, it's going to be there. But that's courtesy of Google. But courtesy of you, your house is going to be on the internet. So we are going, each individual will have like 15 connected items. And this is only 5G that has the capacity. Finally, the last slide. In conclusion, your life is on your palm, courtesy of broadband. Without this, I don't know how many of us can survive for a whole day without our telephone as of today. So because your telephone has become your broadcasting station. For instance, in those days, if we are having this kind of event, NTA, channels, all of them will come with so much gadget. But we don't need that again. This NTA, this channel, we don't need that again. For anyone who has this iPhone with good internet, it does virtually everything NTA does with all those infrastructure, building, and all the rest. Yeah, this is also your bank, and this is your business, and this is your head. So that's why it said your life is on your palm. I end with two quotations from both the Quran and the Bible, just to drive home my point. If we don't take anything out of this meeting today, let's go with the fact that ignorance is a big disease, and ignorance can actually stymie the progress of any nation. In the Quran, Al-Baqarah chapter 2, verse 269, it says, he gives wisdom to whom he will, and whoever has been given wisdom has certainly been given much good, and none will remember except those of understanding. And in the Bible, Daniel 12:4, it says, knowledge shall increase in the latter years. So we're in the latter years when knowledge is increasing. It's doubling. It's doubling. It's not growing arithmetically. It's growing geometrically. And in Matthew 11:28-30, Paul said there, I, Paul, planted, Apollos watered, but God gave the increase. When Daniel talked about increase in knowledge, Paul supported that. He said, God gave the increase. 5G is an increase on 4G. It came from who? From God. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Please let's appreciate Mr. Tibakau for that very fantastic one. I mean, Pastor Chris should not catch you, sir. Well, he said a whole lot of things there. The mega trends in 5G, and the fact that we're going to move from Internet of Things to Internet of People. Sir, that's like advanced witchcraft. But we're getting there, and we have to embrace that. Thank you very much one more time. While we invite our guests back to the table, please let's appreciate them with a round of applause. We are going to be tweaking things a bit. Mrs. Kemdilin Bego needs to leave. She has an appointment for 12, and we have to quickly present to her the award that we have today. Mr. Aaron, are you ready? He craves the indulgence of Dr. Emmanuel to please help present this award. It is a special recognition of Order of Excellence for impact on Nigeria's digital prosperity, presented to Mr. Chris Uwaje by eWorld News Media. Please, let's have you here. Sorry for that. Hand over to Mr. Get it to Mr. Doctor.
I have the singular honor and privilege to present to Dr. Chris Uwaje this award of excellence. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Our love goes to the industry for all he has done for the industry. Thank you, and wish you a safe journey. All right, time is not on our side. We need to move quickly. We are supposed to take the goodwill message of Mr. Akim Fan, the Lagos State Commissioner for Science and Technology. The tech guys, if he's ready, please do cue us in. While we're waiting for that to come, we might quickly move to the lead paper presentation for today. And it's to be taken by the EVC of the NCC, ably represented this morning by Engineer Abraham Oshadami, Head Spectrum Administration, NCC. A round of applause for him, please. He'll be talking about 4G, 5G, and all of that as it affects the economy. Please, let's give it up for Engineer Oshadami.
The chairman, members of the high table, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to start by saying, if you observe my voice shaking, don't ask me why, but I'll give you an idea. With the caliber of men in this high table, I think I need something to stand on to be able to talk. I would like to also tell you, but don't ask me the reason, that the chairman, Dr. Ernest Ndukwe, if he was not in NCC as the EVC, I would not have been here. That having been said, I have another person to confirm that too. That having been said, I would still like to stand by the existing protocol that has been well established. Someone says, don't stand on existing protocol because the weight might be too much after a long time. So I stand by it. The address I'm going to give is on behalf of the current EVC of NCC, Professor Umar Garba Dambata, who has sent his apology for not being able to be here. He actually wanted to be here, but he has to attend to some other issues that he cannot, he must be present. So that's, I hope his apology is accepted. So, from now you're going to hear the voice of Professor Umar Garba Dambata, and if you like the presentation, applaud him. But if you don't like it, please blame me, because I'm the one carrying the message. So his address reads this way: it is my profound honor to be invited to present the keynote address at the 11th edition of eForum, taking place in 2022. I am delighted because the theme, driving the Nigerian digital frontier, 4G, 5G, broadband connectivity, and the economy, is not only commendable, but apt, as it is coming at a time when connectivity has never been more important and the world's reliance on the internet has never been greater. Ladies and gentlemen, the importance of the internet and the critical role of mobile communication, which today is the primary way by which most people access the internet, give credence to the power of digital connectivity and technologies in supporting individuals, businesses, governments, and the society at large. It is also an opportunity to create awareness on the advantages of digitization. I'm happy the speaker just before me has given us more reason to be aware of the need for 5G technology at our time. Broadband has been globally acknowledged as the foundation for the transformation to a knowledge-based economy. The transformative power of broadband as an enabler for economic and social growth in the modern world makes it an essential tool for empowering people, creating an environment that nurtures technological and services innovation, while at the same time triggering positive change in business processes as well as in civilization as a whole. According to the World Bank, a 10% increase in broadband penetration in developing countries results in a corresponding increase of 1.38% in gross domestic product, GDP. It has also been proven that for every 10% increase in broadband penetration, a commensurate increase in employment of 2 to 3% is achieved. Productivity has also been found to increase between 5 to 10% with every 10% increase in broadband penetration. So now talking about driving the Nigerian digital frontier, ladies and gentlemen, the Nigerian Communications Commission has a clear ambition to ensure that the digital economy policy of the federal government is accomplished megabits per second in urban areas and 10 megabits per second in rural areas, with effective coverage available to at least 90% of the population by the year 2025 at a price not more than 390 naira per 1 gigabit of data. That is about 2% of median income or 1% minimum wage. In order to achieve these ambitious targets, the plan is focused on 4 critical pillars, namely infrastructure, policy, demand drivers, funding, and incentives. As part of the effort to realize the objectives of the NNB 2020 to 2025, the Nigerian Communications Commission has outlined a strategic vision plan tagged SVP 2021 to 2025 to ensure the implementation of this policy and to facilitate and realize the development of broadband penetration, affordability, and accessibility for social and economic growth. The SVP 2021 to 2025 provides a roadmap focused on the following 5 pillars. Number 1, organizational renewal for optimal operational efficiency and regulatory excellence, facilitating the provision of infrastructure for a digital economy which fosters national development, improving quality of service for enhanced consumer quality of experience. Number 4, promoting fair competition, inclusive growth, increased investments, and innovative services. And finally, facilitating strategic collaboration and partnership. Similarly, as you may know, under the stewardship of the Honorable Minister of Communication and Digital Economy, Professor Isa Ali Ibrahim Pantami, the federal government also developed the National Digital Economy Policy and Strategy, NDEPS 2020 to 2030, to accelerate the national digital economy for a digital Nigeria. Note is the national policy on 5th generation 5G networks for Nigeria's digital economy to address the issues such as spectrum requirements and enabling environment for a full development of 5G technology. To drive broadband connectivity in the telecommunication industry, as it relates to 4G and 5G, the 4 industry critical stakeholders must collaborate to ensure success by developing and implementing robust government policies, excellent regulatory and operational efficiency, amongst others. These are the policy makers, which stands for the government, the national regulatory authorities, the network operators, and non-governmental actors in the telecommunication sector. As policymakers, the government undertakes its own independent economic and social assessments of the viability of deploying new technologies such as 4G and 5G in this case, with a view to providing policy guidelines and a clear regulatory direction, while enabling all relevant stakeholders, including the network operators, to make an informed decisions that will enable the deployment of technologies in such a manner that will be most beneficial to the nation and its citizens. Noteworthy also is that non-governmental actors in the telecom sector should collaborate and have a handshake with regulators in order to further drive and sustain initiatives geared towards ensuring collective success while achieving set targets. Broadband penetration and its impacts on Nigerian economy. Broadband penetration in Nigeria is on its increasing path, both in subscriptions and even in revenues. Through deliberate and sustained efforts, as well as necessary regulatory interventions, access to telecommunication services, including voice and data, is deepening across the country. This has positively impacted other sectors of the economy, such as healthcare, education, agriculture, finance, transportation, commerce, government, etc. No doubt, we have witnessed phenomenal growth in terms of subscribers base, revenue generation, increase in GDP, teledensity, and increase in foreign direct investments. According to available data, in the fourth quarter of 2021, the telecom sector contributed 12.61% to the GDP from the 8.5% it was in 2015. Active mobile voice subscribers have increased from 151 million in 2015 to over 204 million as at May 2022, with a teledensity of 107.17%. Internet subscribers have grown from 90 million in 2015 to 150.36 million as at May 2022. Also within the period under review, broadband penetration increased from 8% to 43.67% and shows that over 83.3 million subscribers are currently on broadband networks of 3G and 4G. Between November 2021 and May 2022, the network operators have added 7 million new users. Ladies and gentlemen, the NCC, through the Universal Service Provision Fund, USPF, has recorded huge success towards ensuring that telecommunication services are accessible to the widest number of people and communities at affordable prices. The Commission is implementing various projects to increase universal access through service and reduce poverty. These include, amongst others, community resource centers. This is designed to directly respond to employment creation and poverty eradication by building centers for ICT in underserved and unserved areas. We also have the USPF Hackathon to support ICT innovation for the empowerment of the youths. Then we have the Rural Broadband Initiative, RUBI, to provide subsidies to operators for the deployment of networks to support the establishment of core delivery mechanisms for broadband services in the rural through semi-urban areas of Nigeria. Then we have the University Intercampus Connectivity. It's an initiative that provides seamless connection between the universities and the medical colleges and teaching hospitals. And it enables bidirectional communication for resource and content sharing and facilities research among benefiting institutions. We had how this plays out in some parts of the country already. We have the base transceiver stations, BTS. This is another project that involves granting subsidies to network operators, service providers, for the deployment of base transceiver stations and other passive infrastructures in underserved and unserved communities where infrastructure will not ordinarily reach. Then we talk about the information resource centers. It is an intervention to create ICT-driven knowledge management that will adequately respond to the changing demands of users. Through the project, the USPF establishes digital libraries in the existing public libraries to enable sharing of information and other resources, as well as connect and share resources with libraries outside the country. Then we'll talk about the school knowledge centers. This project is designed to promote the demand and adoption of ICT in public schools in order to create skills that can fit into knowledge economy. This is brought to your attention because many may not be aware that such exists. So you can find out more and see how you can benefit if you are not already aware. To drive the broadband penetration and to foster growth and innovation, the Commission will continue to be up and doing in the discharge of its mandates and to consolidate on the achievements recorded so far. It is our belief that the communications industry will continue to experience more quantum leaps, and that will be most beneficial to the nation's economy and its citizens. In line with the Strategic Vision Plan 2021 to 2025, the NCC has taken the following steps among many others. One, the creation of a full-fledged Department of Digital Economy with a mandate, amongst others, to ensure that the programs and targets set in the National Broadband Plan 2020 to 2025 and NDEPS 2020 to 2030 are rigorously pursued, tracked, and attained. We also have the Infraco companies that have been licensed to deploy fiber on an open access basis in the 6 geopolitical zones of the country as well as in Lagos. We have successfully licensed 2 lots of 100 meg bandwidth in the 3.5 gigahertz spectrum for 5G deployment. And we have also followed up on the global industry trends on the 5G spectrum, such as 26 gigahertz, 38 gigahertz, and 42 gigahertz bands that was harmonized in 2019 World Radio Communications Conference. We have at the same time opened up the 70/80 gigahertz E-band for both point-to-point and point-to-multi-point deployment. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I would like to encourage you to participate and actively get involved in discussions that will follow at this event. I wish you a fruitful deliberation. This is the voice of Professor Umar Garba Dambata.
Thank you very much. Please, a round of applause for him. Like he said, if you like the speech, please give the EVC a round of applause. And if you don't like it, you blame him. All right. When the National Broadband Plan came at the inception, it looked very ambitious, like he said. But with the dedication of the Professor Omaro Dambata-led NCC, who not only surpassed the 2018 target, but is on the verge of realizing the 2025 target. So, I mean, you want to give it up for the NCC one more time. Please, a round of applause for the NCC. While that speech was on, the representative of the president of NIRA, Engineer Mohammed Woodman, walked in. She's none other than Head Business Development at NIRA, Mrs. Choma. Okay. Please join us on table. Also, when Dr. Ekuwem was speaking, he mentioned quite a lot of veteran journalists. And when they were coming, I was telling them that they've been hailing you since. I once said I was whining him. You see, I'm not whining you now. Please join me to make welcome Mr. Shino Badaru. A round of applause for him. Thank you very much. Founder, Technology Times. Also, Don Pedro Agambi, CEO, Tech TV. Wave. So you see now, if you're supposed to eat 2 meats, you give me 1. Remy Weke also, yes. A round of applause from our guy at the top. Bumi Dowu, she here? Oh. All right, thank you very much. And need I also tell the chairman that Mr. Remy also wrote a book. They're all writing books these days. So before you came, Mr. Remy, Dr. Enes said we should give him an anointing, you know, to write. And he has promised all of us that he's going to write another voluminous book for us to read. So we clap that time now. Clap your own now. You're welcome. All right, before we move straight to the book review, we want to have the speech of the Lagos State Commissioner for Science and Technology. The technical guys, please. Is he on cue? He's speaking with us via the internet. Is he ready? Online? Please cue us in. Okay. Mr. Akim Pham, the Lagos State Commissioner for Science and Technology. A round of applause, please. Let's give him an E-clap. Hope you can hear us, sir. Audio, please. Just give us a thumbs up if you can hear. Interesting. All right. But we can't hear you. Did you mute yourself? Check your... Check your laptop. We need to solve this problem using technology. All right? We can't hear you, sir. Is it from our end or from his end? Technical guys, please check. Sir, we can't hear you. So maybe you have to check from your end. Oh. Okay, while we're waiting, Mr. Tim, please. Okay, sir, just 1 minute, please. Internet of people, so you could just... Okay, Mr. Please say something. We just heard a bit of it.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Oh, good, good, good. So let's give you a Wi-Fi high five. While we're trying to ensure that that is perfect, Mr. Aaron Kodie, please, let's have the plaque for Mr. Tim before he leaves. The ushers, please. I want to invite the representative of the BBC to please help us with this presentation. Engineer Oshadami, please. It's a special recognition award of Order of Excellence for impact on Nigeria's digital prosperity presented to Mr. Tim. Please, let's appreciate him. The futuristic MD. Well done, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Hope one day when we're going, we'll not just fly to... You know, when we're growing up, my mom used to say, when I slap you, you see yourself abroad. I want her to slap me now. I need that slap now. Our parents were 5G, they were futuristic. They will tell you, when I slap you, you see yourself abroad. I'm looking for that kind of slap now, I cannot see it. All right, Commissioner, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right, sir, we hear you loud and clear. The floor is yours. Please, let's appreciate him one more time.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, Alhaji Abubakar Atiku, GCON, ably represented by Dr. Uyigiwa Osage, Mr. Chairman, Dr. Ernest Ndukwe, the convener, Dr. Aaron Kodie, distinguished members of the I-Table, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I am pleased to be among ICT, digital economy, telecom, and governance experts to give this goodwill address at the Nigeria Drivers of Digital Prosperity and eWorld Forum 2022. I am delighted to bring hearty greetings from the Lagos State Government, especially the Ministry of Science and Technology. I have been informed that this event brings together top government officials, industry professionals, international players, and experts. In my view, the event themed Driving the Nigeria Digital Frontier, 4G, 5G, broadband connectivity, and economy is very relevant and of national significance. No one can ignore the vital role of technology in improving our digital economy and enhancing economic growth and development. The theme, among others, seeks a projection into the future of giant technology strides the federal government has made over the years. Rapid technological developments have often lowered the traditional high barriers to entry for infrastructure services that had previously been regarded as monopolistic. However, as new technologies become cheaper or more efficient, opportunistic disruptors increasingly stake a claim for a market share in many subsectors by offering attractive alternatives to existing products and services. This creates new risk for incumbent investors and raises questions about asset valuations and long-term contracting structures. Please permit me to emphasize that the Lagos Smart City Initiative concept was premised on using modern technology to revolutionize the entire economy. To a greater extent, the Smart City Initiative will bring Lagos at par with many other economies, presently enjoying profound global interest and investments. Substantially investing in digital artifacts to achieve a corresponding value in their natural and human endowments. The Lagos State Governor, Mr. Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu, has left no one in doubt about his quest to make technological advancement a focal point under this administration. The team's agenda being the template on which this administration is currently running has education and technology as one of the pillars. Although technology is aligned with education to form the third pillar that anchors education and technology, technology is the bedrock of all other pillars. Governor Sanwo-Olu's plan to transform the state into a smart city and make Lagos economy 21st century compliant is fully on course. The ongoing laying of 3,000 kilometers of fiber metro network cables and broadband infrastructure across the state is part of the comprehensive smart city program of the government aimed at driving Lagos into 24-hour economy. The broadband infrastructure rollout enables rapidity in commercial activities and provides instant access to healthcare, government services, and social connectivity. In addition, broadband access will help the government improve security through interconnected technological tools. As a matter of fact, the present administration has been working hard to improve the efficiency of services and eliminate redundancies in major sectors as a sure way to make Lagos livable and more productive. Let me inform this gathering that the broadband infrastructure rollout enables rapidity in commercial activities and provide instant access to healthcare, government services, and social connectivity. The strategy is to drop high-speed internet connectivity in all communities within the state and extend it to public schools, institutions of higher learning, health centers, markets, and all government offices and parastatals. In essence, broadband will help the government also improve security through interconnected tools such as the closed-circuit television cameras, Internet of Things, IoT monitoring devices, integrated transport system. In addition, the government has also upgraded the Alausa Secretariat campus network infrastructure to encourage the automation of business processes, promote e-learning and virtual meetings. The upgrade was implemented with Wi-Fi 6 technology, the latest version of the wireless network. Similarly, the Lagos State Science Research and Innovation Council, LASRIC, established in 2019, has funded over 70 research, innovation, and STEM projects in the last 2 years. For example, the state collaborates with University of Lagos to develop ventilators and high commercial value for managing infectious pandemics. Over the last 2 years, the governor has earmarked 600 million naira to boost technology innovations and initiatives. This is already yielding good results with tech startups developing local digital solution platforms. In addition, the development has enhanced access for micro, small, medium enterprises, MSMEs, to stress-free digital payment platforms, thereby improving the digitization of Lagos economy. Talking about the future of technology and infrastructure in Lagos State, it is worthy to note that Governor Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu is consciously investing in the future of young entrepreneurs in technological advancement. This gesture is premised on incorporating technology interest in the heart of the youth who can advance the nation's technological infrastructure in the future. In addition, the state government has also sponsored secondary school students to participate in the 774 Young Nigerian Scientists Presidential Award. This is to boost students' interest in STEM education and encourage young people to invent projects and programs that can resolve challenges in the state, such as infrastructure, environment, waste management, and wealth creation. In this drive for a sight into the future of technology, no single sector should be left behind. As a result, several efforts are already going into these sectors, especially the critical ones captured on that team's agenda. Since technology itself is not static, the need to constantly review these technological initiatives to meet present-day realities and fit into the expectation of smart city that Lagos is always working towards cannot be overemphasized. Looking beyond Nigeria, 3.7 billion people worldwide have yet to be linked to the internet. Thus, even with the rise in internet users, there is still debate over the connection's quality and the issue of inclusivity. Therefore, whatever efforts we're investing into technological advancement, it should be such that it will increase the livelihood of every citizen of our nation. The impact must be felt by all sundry with minimal negative effect on the populace. On this note, I congratulate the organizers of this event, especially Dr. Aaron Kodie, for this laudable initiative. My warm regards to all the speakers, participants, press, and everyone present at this event. I wish you all a happy deliberation. Igbega Ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó, Àjùmọ̀ṣe. The advancement of Lagos requires collective effort. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Thank you very much. A round of applause for him, the Lagos State Commissioner for Science and Technology, Mr. Hakim Fan. Please don't go yet, sir. As you actually highlighted all we've been asking earlier, all what we can do with technology, and we can see that happening in Lagos, addressing security, infrastructure, waste management, and in particular, smart city. And we want to appreciate the Smart City initiative of the Lagos State government led by His Excellency Babajide Sanwo-Olu. No doubt, this book, if you go back to read it, sir, will help in shaping the future policy of the state as it constantly leads in technological innovation across the country. And then, sir, Honorable Commissioner, before you go, we want you to perhaps launch your book so that we can just move on from there. So you're going to do that electronically. E-launch, sir. So the microphone is yours now.
This is very interesting. I spent most of my career in the United States of America. I came back to Nigeria in 2018. And I strongly believe that this book will provide a wealth of information for me to catch up on the historical aspect of implementing broadband in Nigeria. I am looking forward to read the book, but I will take this opportunity to present this book to not only the audience, but to everyone in Nigeria who is interested in knowing more about the evolution of 4G, 5G, and broadband. My focus has always been on broadband, from campus network to metropolitan area network. And this is a big plus because when you look at where we are today, we cannot but give thanks to the pioneers for making it possible for us to use technology to fight COVID-19. Yes, we did, because we were able to meet all the time and also conduct businesses. So let me take this opportunity to present this very important artifact to everyone. And I thank the author and also everyone involved in making this possible. Thank you.
Sir, you didn't get me. I want you, okay, having presented it, how many are you taking on behalf of the Lagos State Government? Launching on behalf of the Lagos State Government.
Okay, let me say I will, on the behalf of the Ministry of Science and Technology, because I'm really on vacation, working vacation in the US. So I will talk to the convener privately, and also because I cannot make a pledge in the public. So definitely I'm going to take about, maybe between 5 to 10. Thank you.
Thank you very much. 5 to 10 of the government. Thank you very much, sir. And hope you're enjoying your stay there. Little wonder your internet was so seamless. We're getting there. Thank you very much, sir, and thank you for joining us online. A round of applause for the Lagos State Commissioner for Science and Technology for that. Yes, we're going to move on quickly this time. We're inviting the book review. We promised to finish at 1 o'clock or thereabouts. We're moving quickly. Immediately after the book review, we'll move quickly to the official launch, and then we'll call it a day.
Thank you so very much, Louisa. But what if I told you that at this point, by the power vested on me holding the microphone, I say to us that we are not unveiling the book, we are not reviewing it, we are going home. What would you say? Okay, so it's at this point I ask, if you would like for me to call up the book reviewer, say aye. If you would like for me not to, perhaps not bother, say nay. Okay, so the ayes have it. All right. He's one of the pioneer ICT journalists, a PR and media relations professional. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let's make welcome Mr. Olubayo Abiodun as he plays the defining role of a book reviewer at this event today. Please let's put our hands together. Thank you so very much. You're welcome, sir. Please let's keep clapping. We have agreed that it's a very important role. It's why we are all here. Thank you. Thank you so very much. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. Once again, good afternoon, Mr. Chairman and very distinguished members of the High Table, my colleagues, the Fourth Estate of the Realm, I greet you all. Ladies and gentlemen, my job is very simple. It's just to do a review of the book written by one of us, a veteran of over 36 years, still counting in the industry. The title of this book, for the benefit of those of us who may not have seen it, is, let me put it in perspective of the traditional media practice, a 3-deck headline. That's the title. In journalism practice, in print media in particular, when you have these levels of headlines, it's called decks. So we have a 3-deck title for this particular book. We have the kicker, the main headline, and the rider. Thank you. Nigeria, drivers of digital prosperity, the trajectories of the digital evolution, sector analysis, and players' contributions. It's a 472-page book, Author, Aaron Ikodie, Nigeria's pioneer ICT journalist. Publishers, Ajo Media Limited, Nigeria. This edition was published July 2022 and printed in Nigeria. The prize, as of now, has not been revealed to me. I believe before the end of this event, the publisher, the author, would unveil the prize. And my name is Olubayo Abiodun. I've titled this review, Connecting the Dots from Analog to Digital and Virtual Nigeria. In the emerging world economies, powerful nations classify the following subheads, such as information, technology, telecommunications, and computing, among others, as the nucleus of the new power configurations. Whoever wants to be something and anything in the global arena must basically give attention to computing skills, data analysis, robotics, cybersecurity, programming, business development and sales, blockchain, fintech, food value chain, logistics, hospitality and tourism, sporting skill, music, entertainment, creative arts, fashion, and automobile, among others, because that is where the likes of global in-demand skills are maximizing their opportunities. Brands like Netflix, Google, Tesla, Apple, Amazon, and Alibaba, among others, such giant multinationals are already plying their trade in those frontiers. It is the space for the millennia. This is the pedigree that this book, authored by Aaron Ikodie, has brought to the fore. This is an interesting, very intriguing, and lucidly written book in simple prose, which puts the totality of Nigeria's telecommunications, technology, and computers' vital details in a single document. It's a well-documented experiential perspective of the author, who for more than 36 years had been a consistent chronicler of the events, activities, actions, and inactions of the active and inactive players and other stakeholders in the various compositions and segments that constitute the ICT and computer space within the socio-economic trajectories in Nigeria. The foundation, the beginning of the race to where we are today, contains some of the real details ever written or documented. The roles of the player in the public sector and the private sector, the perspective of the public and private institutions too, in shaping and molding the ICT empire now thriving in Nigeria, are also included in this book. Rather than the traditional designation of a book made up of various themes into chapters, the author preferred to treat the themes and sub-themes in a different nomenclature classified as sections. There are therefore 5 broad sections in the entire 472-page book. With the effort of this author in putting the records in this book form, students, researchers, and industry enthusiasts will definitely glean the roles played by some of the key actors which had remained hitherto cryptic in the nation's critical economic and developmental pathways. Section 1 is dedicated to the formative years of the telecommunications evolution in Nigeria. This is prior to the independent era in the nation's governing progressions. The extensive narrations on the pathways to the expansion of telecommunications to the nooks and crannies of the nation also gained traction in this section. This full-blown account of the historical foundation of telecommunication development in Nigeria will help readers extract the parochial underbelly for the introduction of this critical infrastructure by the colonial masters. The transition from the core colonial structure of the nation's telecommunication network, the town-by-town tracking of the network rollout, and what informed the choice of location for the network rollout helps the reader to understand the apathy of the foreign usurpers in our leadership structure at the time. The book also put in perspective the circumstances that triggered the transfer of knowledge in the running of the telecoms network to the few Nigerians engaged in the less critical aspects of the network configurations. When, why, and how the first public switch telephone network, PSTN, emerged is also well detailed here. More interesting is the exposition on the concepts of globalization, deregulation, liberalization, commercialization, and privatization in the telecom sector. This will help anyone going through the book to appreciate the transition of those global market imperatives and today's success stories in the telecom sector. Most Nigerians, perhaps everyone interested in the sudden and massive transformations in the nation's telecom sector, will connect well with the contents in the talk section because that is the part that brought Nigeria to the limelight in the Global Telecommunications Index. The author did an incisive unveiling of the telecommunication regulator and the landmark mandate it had to contend with, even when there were no antecedents to lift it out of the inherent knowledge mystery. It is an interesting read to note that the journey of DML in Nigeria was not just an instant success story. Aside the curious gang-up to push Ernest Ndukwe out of NCC, readers will get insights into the several failed attempts spanning almost 10 years before the final push, which resulted in the global acclaims recorded by the regulator in the auction, award, issuance, and the operations of the digital mobile licenses in Nigeria. The interest of Nigeria's former head of state, late General Sonny Abacha, and the Chagori family in the GSM market are also profoundly enunciated in this book. The author in this book regales us with the intrigues, the battle warriors, and the traps in the auction processes, the roles of the then Vice President Atiku Abubakar, Chairman of NCC Board, late Ahmed Joda, and XYEVC NCC, Dr. Ernest Ndukwe, in bypassing the surreptitious plot to frustrate the successful completion of the DML auction by high-ranking government officials is also detailed in this book. Also recorded for posterity in this compendium are the developmental strides of broadband growth in Nigeria. Reader will also come to terms with the sacrifice made by NICOMSAT to pave the way for the 5G spectrum soon to roll out in Nigeria. Why was Surulere branded Nigeria's version of Silicon Valley in the 80s? And how did this sprawling Lagos mainland community become the toast of computing enthusiasts and entrepreneurs? What roles did charms played in Nigeria's fertile field of computing expertise? And how did data communications emerge in the corporate Nigeria? Did NITEL frustrate or complement the private sector initiative that introduced data communication for operational exigencies? This and much more are available in this book, when we find very interesting details of the pioneering roles played by the corporate Nigeria in the adoption and integration of computers into their operations. The Head Start initiative by UAC and how the success story inspired Lever Brothers Nigeria, now Unilever, and First Bank of Nigeria to take a plunge into the uncharted computing highway, also featured in this book. The book also explored the various ICT interventions in the education sector, the rigorous initiative to make the nation's tertiary institutions align with global best practice, and the struggle with this effort is sufficiently expanded in section 2 of this book. The transition from the brick and mortar to the virtual classrooms and the various shortcomings with adopting the electronic platforms for teaching and learning are well articulated in the book. The roles of the national examination bodies, West Africa Examination Council, WAEC, National Examination Council, NECO, and Joint Admission Matriculation Board, JAM, among others, in embracing the change from the hardcore paperwork into the mobile and electronic processing through the portal administration of examination, provides deep connection with the inglorious struggles in the past and the emerging dynamics of the new dawn. The author also gave perceptive narration of the various flip-flops in the attempts to create a reliable national IT policy in Nigeria, the supremacy struggles among the power brokers struggling in the delayed resulting in the delayed approval of the national IT policy and how it impacted the nation's trajectories in IT skills, services/products development are well documented in this book. How the IT industry fraternal bodies also emerged, transformed, or metamorphosed into the different nomenclatures featured prominently in this book. The travails, the opportunities, and the lessons learned from the bitter fields were clearly outlined in this book. Also well detailed is the blow-by-blow story of how NIDA emerged from the rubble after years of fits and starts by the stakeholders charged with the establishment of an IT regulator and an industry policy. Individuals who led corporate entities and left their names in the quick sand of time in the ICT community were also given credit in this book. It is a loaded field of ministers, CEOs of regulatory agencies, and blue-chip corporations, as well as government-owned ICT companies. It's a mixed grill of the good, the bad, and the ugly patches in their surgeons. There is so much to read about some of the great minds who were the bedrock for the various ICT regulatory agencies and the various brands having a swell time of roller skating in the telecoms and IT markets today. From the analog to the digital transition, the good times and travels endured by the forebears in the industry is robustly captured. The contributions of men and women of distinction, impeccable character and integrity, who braved the odds to sacrifice so much to carve the niche for Nigeria's noble contributions in the global index in the computing and ICT global market ranking is detailed here. Some of these notable men, including the late Ahmed Joda, late Olawale Ige, our chairman of today, Ernest Ndokwe, Richmond Agre, Raymond Akule, Bashir and Nasri El-Rufai, Senator Annie Okonko, Demola Aladekomo, Leo Stan Eke, Austin Okere, Chris Uwaje, Titi Omaitu, Emmanuel Ekwem, Florence Seriki, Gerard Ilukwe, Gbenga Adebayo, and Lanre Ajayi, among other celebrated individuals, are also in this compendium. The last section of this book is dedicated to the role of the ICT media, where I belong, in the making of the economic powerhouse that the industry has been transformed into. Readers will enjoy the intrigues that characterized the Media Fraternal Association in the early days. The ups and downs of the early times in reporting the industry was also aptly captured. The author tried to underscore the rigorous and painstaking processes that the industry reporters endured to generate news items worthy of consideration by the gatekeepers in their various platforms, where competition for news space was very keen among reporters. This was particularly more challenging for reporters covering a news genre that was just evolving to gain public attention and readers' interest. How the beat reporters overcame the initial inertia and became the pride of their editors is eloquently elucidated in this book. It also captured the ruggedness that helped these journalists survive the tidal waves of intrigues to eventually evolve from being mere reporters to media entrepreneurs and publishers of note. The author also recorded for the keen observers of the fourth estate of the realm the delicate parts that journalists often walked in the course of carrying out their constitutionally recognized responsibilities. A classical case in point was encoded in this book when beat reporters almost got entrapped in the high-wired intrigues of a military coup d'etat. This book's layout is uniquely expressive in its font choice, design, and formatting. The binding also meets the national standard for tenuous preservation of the book. The layout and font types and size presents a good flow from being very pleasing to the eyes, suits the mind, while galvanizing a breathtaking read and engagement page after page. The structure of the book also helps in the compartmentalization of the thematic focus that the author tried to articulate. This book is unique in its own style of presentation of statistics, values, narration, and facts and figures in the ICT development from the pre-independent era to date in Nigeria. In concluding, I would like to say that we have a book that has dug into the depths of Nigeria's ICT roadmap, connecting the footprints of the analog and digital parts to create a virtual future that holds a promising profile for building further prosperity and critical knowledge for industry expansion. However, this is not foreclosing the opportunities for other perspectives from the rich intellection of other chroniclers of the industry, among who are also with us in this hall today. I challenge these history makers to also put their rich experiences, network of contacts, and expertise into a book, into a knowledge compendium, just as Aaron has uniquely done. So I'm recommending this book for the public and private sectors, as there are inherent values that are capable of triggering explosive interactions and knowledge articulation to further open the space and expand the ICT ecosphere in this climb. The author has got the pedigree, having authored several acclaimed titles in the subsector. These include Phones for All, 2004, Ndukwe and Telecom Regulation, A Work in Tandem, 2007. He made reference to it earlier on. The Story of NITE, 2015, and Nigeria at 50, Neither in National Development. He is also the author of a mini autobiography titled The Lead Story, A Diary of an ICT Reporter, 2014, and another biography titled Olagunju Strides of a Potter's Son, 2013. He is also a co-author of the celebrated 600-page classical book which chronicled the journey of the Guardian, titled The Making of the Nigerian Flagship, A Story of the Guardian. Therefore, research institutes, tertiary institutions, the academia, scholars, industry regulatory bodies like NCC, NIDA, NBC, NIPOS, and operators like MTN, Airtel, Globalcom, 9Mobile, Main1, Nicomsat, Zynos Technology, and other industry operators will be adding value to their private libraries if this book is an addition to their collections. When the revised edition of this book shall be imperative, I would particularly like to see the inclusion of maps, charts, and tabulated stats, drawings, and iconic pictures of events and places from time immemorial across the telecoms, technology, and computing spheres of the industries. It will also be nice to see in the revised edition of this book analytical stats on the trajectories of human capital index in the industry, charts and exclusive pictorial presentation of some of the iconic evolution in the industry. There were also issues like the circumstances of the death of Engineer Charles Joseph, the late president of the defunct Mobitel Limited, which has remained unresolved decades after. Such unfinished mandates of the media could have added the needed energy to the uniqueness of this book. Perhaps this also serves as a challenge to the other veterans who watched the evolution of this industry from time past to the period in history, the period its history is now being documented, to also put their own reckoning of the stages into a book form. Besides, it will also be Besides, it will also be more apt to have interviews with some of the living legends in the ICT ecosystem, the likes of Ndukwe, Professor Pat Utomi, who was a consultant to NCC during the auction of the DML, Demola Alade-Komo, Cletus Sirumanto, the first EVC of NCC, and Bashir Erufai, among other leaders of thought in the industry, who contributed in no small measure to the foundation of the sector's development. On behalf of this author, readers are enjoined to pardon some printer's devil and a few proofreading slips which occurred in the book. Thanks, and enjoy reading the book.
Wow, he deserves a better round of applause. Wow. It's really not easy to summarize a 472-page book in 10 minutes. Thank you very much, Mr. Abiodun Bayo, a veteran journalist, for doing us these honors. Wow, wow, wow. Sir, you now said you should do a revised version. 472, want to revise it. It will now be 1,000 pages. The Lord will give you the strength to read it, amen? Of course we shall. Really, really a good one there. Please appreciate him one more time. Well, before we move into the crux of the matter, by inviting our special guests, please join me to make welcome Mr. Adekunle Anjorin, representative of the MD Main One, Ms. Funke Opeke. Please, a round of applause to him, please. Just wave to us wherever you're seated. Thank you very much. You can join us on the table. And of course, Mr. Golahon Awonuga, the Executive Secretary of Alton, also walked in during that speech. He's representing Mr. Gbenga Adebayo, the President. Thank you very much, sir, for coming as always. We also have Ufoma Daro. Oh, my madam at the top. Is she here? Just wave to us. Oh, wow, wow. Wow, thank you very much. You know, the ICT industry doesn't have too many babes. You know, when you said, and the girls, I wanted to respond. They call us gentlemen of the press. But when we ask them anything for the boys, they'll say we are not boys. So if I come ask you anything for the boys, better answer me because we are all gentlemen. Thank you very much, Ms. Former Daro, for honoring the invitation. Also, Mr. Shino Badaru welcomed him earlier, but the author wants you to say something because you know, today's event will not be complete as a veteran journalist to give us one or two cents of yours. Also representing the CEO of the division, Mr. Hilary Damisa, is here on behalf, representing Dr. Barrio Agabi. A round of applause. Thank you very much for coming. We'll just take 1 minute each from both of you on your thoughts about today. If Mr. Aaron did well in chronicling all of this and the role you played. He did 472 pages in 10 minutes. You do yours in 1 minute. Thank you.
In order to be able to 10 minutes, 1 minute time frame given to me, I'll just simply want to say a big congratulations to him, our leader in the industry. And apart from wanting to pay tribute to you and great men seated there, let me first of all single someone out. I recall quite with great memory that the first time I had to interview this gentleman, we were at the cusp of this thing they call the mobile revolution. At that point in time, part of the legacy, the great industry ecosystem that through the actions you've taken, through the sacrifices and through all that you have done back then, today I pay tribute to you because I remember that back then I was an IT editor with This Day newspaper. I retired from This Day newspaper in August year 2000. In those years, sir, when you're going to an event of this nature, and I want to particularly speak to the industry that we take for granted today. You come to an event like, say, Oriental Hotel. You get here 8 o'clock in the morning. You will cover your event. You probably leave around 2 o'clock. And then you start running all the way back to Apapa to be able to make the next day's front page or the next day's newspaper. So you will slap the between VI and Apapa. You'll probably be lucky enough to get to the office around 4 or 5 o'clock. And as is the convention or the unspoken tradition with journalists, particularly people like me, you first of all go to the restaurant, have a bottle of beer to prepare you. And when you get there, you get to the newsroom. You go, the conventional newsroom that we're used to before the advent of the industry you created. You go to a pile of paper, they call it off-cut, okay? You pick up the off-cut and start writing your story with a pen. When you finish writing your story with a pen, you submit it to a gentleman who first of all looks at it and he draws some hieroglyphics with red pen and all of that, and then he returns it to you. You go back, we're counting like 4 processes in between already. He returns it to you, then you go back and give it to a lady in a room where they have this huge signboard, computer room, no entry to unauthorized personnel. So the lady finishes, they print out that same report, you take it back to your sub-editor, he takes it out of a pile of other stories, going for the other day's newspaper. He looks through it, they call them gatekeeper. They're very powerful people, and they decide what goes into the newspaper in conjunction with your editor, and decide what the readers will read tomorrow. I need for all of you who have this thing that you carry all over the place, that you call mobile phone, and you call yourself eyewitnesses and bloggers and all of that. There's no gatekeeper in between. So it takes those stories and they then put it in a desktop publishing. Maybe you were using Quark Express back then or whatever. And then that process goes to a computer room where it's designed, and then it goes for, then there's this fantastic place in Maryland then. The newspapers going to, we had this special edition that we call first edition. They will take them, it must get there at around about 2, 3 a.m. to be able to get to Edo Delta, Abuja. No, the ones going to Abuja go by air. Okay, and then around 5 a.m., I'm sorry, I know I've exceeded your 1 minute, but this is very interesting to why we're gathered here today. So you get to, what's that place in Marina? Remind me. What? God bless you, Kakawa. You get to Kakawa around 4, 5 a.m. in order to be able, for the newspapers to make the newsstands for that day. We're talking about a whole ecosystem, a whole industry, a whole slew of the way we live, work, and play entirely transformed just because of the actions, just because of the sacrifices, and just because of the frontier thinking of people like Dr. Ernest Ndukwe. And I think that wherever the gentleman sits, we all should rise to give him a standing ovation. May I humbly request that we all should rise to give him a standing ovation. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. Now you may all be seated. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to say with a lot of sober reflection that we can look back the last 2 decades and say that so much has happened. Like he always kept saying back then, the biggest size in the room is always still room for improvement. As we go towards 5G and all of the Gs, look at, you can see camera and cameramen. In those days, you had huge equipment that people would bring to bear. Look at miniature cameras and all of those things. So our leader, our industry leader, I saw that someone called you Dr. Aaron Okodie. I think that he gave you a borrowed robe. I think that you should be a professor. For all of what you have done for our industry, for all of what people like. I think it speaks also to his frontier thought leadership that the government of Akwa Ibom have today insisted that you come and occupy a wonderful leadership position in that government. Frontier thinkers like you and the industries that you've created, Dr. Emmanuel Ekwem, I thank you very much. I understand that before I arrived, my terrible reputation in the industry preceded me. Thank you very much for all those kind words. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for the honor of being here today. I thank you so much. So from this day on, we shall henceforth know him as Professor Aaron Ukodie. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please, a round of applause from our guy at the top. Sir, you can continue. 10 minutes, I can add 0 at the back. Thank you very much for that. Well, I mean, with all of these stories, we can't but appreciate the ease we're doing stuff today. I mean, now we have charge and bill journalists now, not only charge and bill lawyers. I mean, we see things and we just do that within a twinkle of an eye, not knowing that the veterans had to go through all of this to ensure that their name just gets a byline the next day. Thank you very much for all that you did. You are like John the Baptist, the forerunners. Thank you very much, sirs, again, and we appreciate it. So, Mr. Hillary, please, 1 minute again. Enjoy the stories, anyway.
Thank you so much. On behalf of my principal, Dr. Bayero Agabi, who is unavoidably absent, I'd like to congratulate the author of the book we are celebrating today, and I'd like to say a very good afternoon to the very revered men on the high table. Something strikes me about the author, Mr. Aaron Ukodie. Oh, sorry, I beg your pardon. It will take us time to do some adjustment. Professor Aaron Ukodie. He is indeed a trailblazer. Professor Aaron Ukodie is a very deep person. He indeed is someone who the new generation of journalists should do a very careful study of and find out what makes him thick. Professor Aaron is one person who has been able to migrate from the analog to the digital. Considering the divide, you would imagine someone who schooled when there was virtually no computer. Today, he's one of the most active bloggers in today's ICT industry. For someone who passed through the same department I was fortunate to pass through, who indeed has continued to remain relevant. He's authored much more than 7 books. Professor Aaron Ukodie, a graduate of the University of Ife, 1983. And almost 30 years before I finished from the same department, I can see a certain connection from the high table. I can see Dr. Ernest Ndukwe, who also finished from Ife Engineering, and I can see Dr. Emmanuel Ekuem. I also saw my colleague who maybe she stepped out. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like us to celebrate Mr. Dr. Professor Aaron Ukodie. How best do we do this? This is an industry that creates the narrative. When we refer to the legacies of Dr. Ernest Ndukwe and the legacies of Dr. Emmanuel Ekuem and the others, we tend to forget that people told the story of how these people shaped the industry. And so the story of the shaper is untold. But today is an opportunity for us to rewrite that story and of course celebrate Aaron. And I challenge the new generation of reporters, of writers and editors in my category and those who are coming after, that will begin to look at how to document the Shino Badarus of this world, the Bayero Agabis of this world, the Ufoma Dairos of this world, the Aaron Ukodies of this world, so that something will not be lost to the generation coming afterwards. Ladies and gentlemen, may I ask that we all stand up to give Professor Aaron Ukodie a rousing round of applause. Great Ife! Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Please celebrate him one more time. They would have just called this forum Gathering of Ife Alumni. Or aluminium, as some people used to call themselves. It's the aluminium of great Ife people. Very proud people. Ife, they can be proud. Sir, I'm not far from the truth, right? But of course, they are fantastic people. A round of applause for Professor Aaron Okode one more time. They are pushing you to write more book. Don't mind them. But you will write, I know, because you can't get tired of writing. All right, at this juncture, I want to invite our special guest of honor and chief launcher at today's event. He is Nigeria's former vice president and PDP's presidential flag bearer in the 2023 general elections. Guests, ladies and gentlemen, a warm applause for His Excellency Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, GCON, the Waziri of Adamawa State, ably represented this afternoon here by Barrister Mr. Uyigiwa Osage for his speech. A round of applause for him, please. Please keep clapping. You are clapping for a presidential candidate. You are sitting down. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. Mr. Chairman, Dr. Ernest Ndukwe, who, as he told you, is brothers with Dr. Azu Ndukwe, who has been personal physician and very good friend to Atiku Abubakar for close on 25 years now. Sorry, did you go to Bowie College as well? Oh, I know he did. So unfortunately, you didn't have the benefits. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, members of the high table, my task here is very simple. My name is Uyigiwa Osage. I have been mandated by His Excellency Atiku Abubakar, Waziri Adamawa, to represent him here today. He got the notice of this occasion late, at which time he was already out of the country, but he still forwarded these few remarks to me to come and present on his behalf. It gives me great pleasure to be part of the celebratory launch of this very important book, one that truly resonates with me. I am particularly thankful to the author of this book, Aaron Okode, who has taken the initiative to document the historic journey of Nigeria's ICT and telecommunications prosperity, and how this has inspired our achievements in this sector till date. It is no doubt that the introduction of the GSM revolution made possible by digital mobile licensing has reshaped the economical and social well-being of Nigerians and Nigeria as a country. The book. It is also an honor to be acknowledged through this book as one of the pioneers of and contributors to Nigeria's digital transformation within the ICT sector, in addition to the efforts of the Nigerian Communications Commission. I am immensely proud to be associated with something so significant in Nigeria's history, and even more thankful to be here today to acknowledge this recognition. As with some of the insights of this book, which tells the true story of our digitization journey, I must applaud Aaron Okode, now Professor Aaron Okode, in the delivery of this piece, which boldly encapsulates his mastery and experience as a journalist for decades. ICT and telecoms in Nigeria. Nigeria currently accounts for 82% of Africa's ICT market, described as one of the fastest growing ICT hubs globally, with the sector being a major contributor to the nation's gross domestic product. These significant milestones are a testament of my commitment and the visionary leadership of the government that I was privileged to serve in as Vice President of Nigeria, wherein I was in charge of the country's economic management team. The evolution of the country's ICT and telecommunications industry started with the GSM revolution, which was launched in August 2001 under our administration, and has since revolutionized the face of ICT in Nigeria. I recall that in February 2002, I inaugurated a 22-member telecommunications sector reform implementation committee aimed at increasing access to phone services for Nigerians, primarily through the GSM, and further facilitated all necessary licensing for the GSM to come into effect in Nigeria. This is an achievement I am entirely proud of and further reinforces my credentials as a digitally inclined leader, aware of revolutions that need to take place for our country to move forward and reach her full potential. The digital economy. I must also commend all the stakeholders in the ICT sector, a significant number of whom are here today, who have played significant roles in the transitioning and growth of this sector into what it is today. As we are all aware, the GSM revolution has further expanded into the internet age, which has now put Nigeria on a pedestal to innovation, technology, digital transformation, and inspiring our young people to do even more. I am truly happy with the prospects of what the future holds in this sector. As a leader in this country, I have seen firsthand the significant impact digital creates across the different sectors of our economy and the endless opportunities that remain untapped. On this continuous journey, I feel a responsibility to continue to support Nigeria and the young people of Nigeria on its digitization agenda. And this forms a core part of my campaign promise and delivery to the nation in my current quest to be next President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria come May 29, 2023. So, in conclusion, we can attest that the journey to digital prosperity lies in the efforts of governmental entities to initiate, ideate, implement, monitor, and allocate the right resources in the execution of digital initiatives for Nigeria. Like I earlier mentioned, I commend the efforts of the author of this book, as it is very crucially important to document Nigeria's journey through books such as this and remind ourselves that a lot can be achieved when we come together and make collective decisions to move our country forward. As I close, I would like to say thank you very much for your time and attention, and I look forward to highly impactful discussions on this day. Once again, congratulations to Aaron Okodie for this masterful book. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for that. Please, while you're still standing, I would want to call on members of the high table for the official unveil of this book. Please, can I have the ushers help me with this? I guess we're done with this for now today. The crux of the matter is here. I want to invite the chairman of today's occasion to please, can you guys come help me? Let's put this in the middle. Dr. Ernest Ndukwe, leading the pack of members, distinguished guests on the high table. Dr. Emmanuel Ukuwem, please. The NCC. Let's also have Alton, main one. Mr. Aaron, please, we need you here too. We'll just have it, let's take it to the middle. Can someone help me here, please? Let's bring it to the middle, right? So, okay. Mr. Chairman, sir, please, a chief launcher. Mr. Aaron, Nira, Altcon. On behalf of the veterans, sir. Okay, you are eating. Just 1 minute, yes, we need you here. Shino Badaru. Let's add some little bit of software. Ufa Madaro, please. She already started doing her face. Yes, yes. Please do us the honors of being here for this special unveil. All right, so we're going to stretch.
On behalf of His Excellency Atiku Abubakar, GCON, Waziri Adamawa, it is my distinct pleasure to unveil this wonderful tome of knowledge and industry information, and I have been directed to launch it with the sum of 2 million naira.
A round of applause, 2 million naira. We have a chief launch. Thank you very much. Can we have everyone just pick a copy? Have a feel of it, says, while we go around it. All shares, I need your help. Sorry. Yes. Yes, so. Very fantastic, fantastic piece. Looking all fresh. Fresh. Okay. Let's do the photo, and then I'll hand over the microphone to others, right? So, photographers, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, are we good? Presenting to you, Nigeria drivers of digital prosperity, the trajectories of the digital evolution, sector analysis, and players' contributions. A round of applause for Professor Aaron Okode one more time. That professor has come to stay, sir.
Oh, yes, it has.
All right, at this point, I hand over the microphone to the chairman, Dr. Ennis.
Thank you very much. I don't like launching things in public, seriously. But when Aaron invited me, I didn't even know he was writing this book. But he sent me a note that he wanted me to chair the launching. And my reply was, Aaron, we've come a long way. And I would only say yes, because I know that whatever he does with carefulness. So it's my pleasure to also join in the launch of this book. And I say that I'll give $500,000 to this book from me. And then subsequently, we'll see what else can happen with the propagation of the book to other institutions of learning.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so very much. I would be handing over the microphone, of course.
Thank you very much. On behalf of the government and the good people of Akwa Ibom State, that's the full name of the state. You know, Aaron, as you know, we are working on an Aqua Smart. And to get these copies of the book to quite a good number of those who are involved in Aqua Smart, I would like to launch this book with a sum of 1 million naira.
A round of applause. Aqua Smart, that's my state, you know, so we're going smart, yes. Akwa Ibom State, yes. You just know, right? Let me be proud. Right, the NCC. Thank you.
Okay. On behalf of the NCC, I would like to say that this is a book that if nobody should take, NCC must take. And I'm sure that the office would like to get this book into the hands of every staff of the commission. So we're going to get in touch with the author, and he will know what commitment the commission will make on behalf of this. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. A round of applause for the NCC.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, I'm not here to give a speech, but I just want to acknowledge my colleague, my chairman emeritus. In fact, if we're talking about the ICT industry and nobody mentions him, then I think the person does not know what is going on in the country. I can say he's part of the foundation of whatever has happened. I won't be mentioning how much I'm giving here, but I'll see him in camera.
Thank you very much. Mira, please. Thank you.
Okay, I'll stand on the existing protocols. My name is Chioma KK. I'm here to represent Mr. Mohammed Rodman, the president of Nigeria Internet Registration Association. I'm also unable to state how much we're given, but an envelope has been provided to support this event. And we'll promote your book through our newsletter, and we'll help announce you to the world. Thank you for your contribution in this case. Thank you very much.
I'm part of a foundation or a society that is emerging in the ICT space in Nigeria. It has membership cutting across what you naturally call the, I don't want to refer to them as dinosaurs. It includes people like our newly minted professor. It includes my colleague here, who's actually our Chancellor of Exchequer in the foundation. I'm also representing the chief of that foundation. On behalf of the foundation, we shall be supporting this in space with a sum that I will not publicly disclose. However, I shall liaise with the professor later today to let him know how much the foundation has approved for disbursement to support this laudable initiative.
Thank you very much, sir.
My name is Kunle Anjori, and I'm here on behalf of my CEO, Mrs. Funke Opeke. I'm unable to state also, but I know we're supporting the book, and I'd like to commend everyone here, especially everyone that has partaken in the development of infrastructure in Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Let's have the photo up, sir, so that we can allow our guests to go back to their seats. And then we'll open the book launches here. Like I said, it's presented officially today. And you can pick a copy for 20,000 naira, payable to Ajo Media Zenith account number 101208596. The ushers, please go around, go through all of the history when it comes to telecoms and the technology industry. No, I mean, everybody take it up. You can pick. Can we have all the pictures? Guy said he wants the picture again. Sorry, please. Mr. Chairman, sir. Mr. Chairman, sir, please, can we have it again just one more time? Sorry. Yeah, he said he didn't get the picture very well. Sorry, let's just do it one more time. So sorry. So sorry about that. Please get it well. Please hold on to it. Yes, let's see. Beautifully printed, smooth. Okay, please, before you go, can Mr. Aaron be in the middle, please? Mr. Bayo, let's have the professor himself at the middle. Thank you very much. Smile. Smile technologically. Yes. NITRA Chairman, Chike, please, can you please join us in this picture? We introduced you earlier on, Chike Onwebuchi, Chairman. A round of applause for him, please. I needed to be in this picture. Yes. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, sir. Let's do that quickly. Yes, so Chike is the chairman of the professor. It's not easy to be a professor's chairman. Please, this way. Thank you. Zoe, join the picture. It's not us, only us that waka come. All right, thank you very much. Can the ushers please go around with the books? Please ensure that our guests have their books in their packs while they go back to their seats. Lunch will be served soon. The bank account number to sending your donations to, we have two of them, Zenith or GTB. Ajo Media Zenith account number 101208596. Also, we have Aaron Okodie, GTB 022159973. Yes, please, can we project it? Technology guys. Okay, do you have it? Please, I need one. Ushers, can you please give them one so that it can be projected, your transfers? I mean, I want Mr. Aaron or Professor Aaron to get an alert that will break his phone this afternoon. Let his phone run down with bank alerts. Please do well to get a copy for 20,000 naira. Need I also add here that the book, The Making of Nigerian Flagship, is also here at the moment. The Making of the Nigerian Flagship of The Guardian. And we have great contributors that made that book possible. Professor Femi Osofison, Mr. Shegun Adeni of This Day, Professor Jamie Onwe-Chekwa, hope I got that right, and Professor Abiodu Adeni of Bayes University, and a whole lot of others that made that also possible. In case you missed that piece, it's also available here for 20,000 naira. Please do well to support Mr. Aaron so he can write another one of 1,000 pages, and we all read through Christ our Lord. All right, please, DJ, give us soft music while we go around with the copies of the book. Ushers, please ensure that at least we all go home with one of this book. With 20,000 naira, you'll be supporting Professor Aaron's ministry as he moves forward to writing more books for us. Thank you very much, sir. Sir, we called you earlier on, sir. You're welcome, sir. I know while we're taking the photo session. You're welcome, sir, once again from ArtCon. And we will know if you want to get, on behalf of Alton, one of the books. Please, ushers, go round. DJ, give us the music as the ushers go round with the book. We have the flagship, and also we have the Nigerian Drivers of Digital Prosperity, a 472-page book chronicling all that has happened, all of the sweats put in by veterans to ensure that we are where we are today when it comes to the revolution in the industry. I need the account number projected. Some people are asking. The Zenith Bank account, Ajo Media, the name 10120859662. And also this GTB, Aaron Okode, 0221597397. Please ensure to get a copy. 20,000 naira is the market value. It can be nice to the prof to add some zeros behind. While that is going on, we're preparing for the award ceremony. Like he said, it's not just about chronicling all that happened. It is for us to recognize those that made it possible, one way or the other. And we'll be doing that shortly at this event. Can we have the account number projected? Please beckon on me or any of the ushers for the account details. You can pick as many copies. have the account number on the screen. Ajo Media's bank account 1012-85962. We'll also want the members of here present picture with the author. Members of NITRA here present to have a picture with the author. The chairman, please. Mr. Chike, please. Mr. Aaron, please. Chike, Chidebere. NITRA members in the building, please. Let's support our very own. NITRA members, I can see Mr. Yemi there. Please, this way. NITRA members, please. I see the chairman and the professor. To all NITRA members. All journalists, if you are a journalist in this room, please. A journalist in this room, please. Please. Yes, all journalists in the building. Dr. Ikuwem, you are a journalist. We want to have all journalists here. Yes, so. Eh? Doctor, would your indulgence to join us in this picture with journalists? Yes. You are not, but we need you in the picture so that the picture we have weight. Journalists in the building. Please, the chairman, please. Let's have the chairman in the middle. Mr. Aaron on the right, Shah. Hold on to it, don't worry. Oh, please, let's have him in front. Okay, good, good. Hold on to the book for a picture. Liquid content only. Congratulations. Just drop 20K and then go with the book. God bless you. Only 20K and go with the book. Please, we'll have to go straight to the awards. Please, quickly. Quickly, can the ushers come with the plaques? Let's do that quickly. Then we take... Please, our chairman needs to go, but we have to present this before you go, sir. Please, ushers, can you help me take this away? Let's invite the chairman. We'll be having the very first special recognition award to Engineer Ernest Ndukwe as the champion of Nigeria's digital transformation and prosperity, presented to you this day by eWorld News Media. Please, can we have Dr. Ekuwem to do us the honors? Seeing you there, the publisher and author. Congratulations, sir. Champion of...
Music, please. Music, 1 second, please. Music.
DJ, break it down.
You know what, Aaron, in the course of this event, I've not heard one of senior brother Ernest's titles, Mr. Telecoms. You have not heard it. Please, we mustn't forget it. We mustn't. So on behalf of eWorld's management and staff, Mr. Telecoms, I have the singular honor and privilege to present to you this award of you being the champion of Nigeria's digital transformation and prosperity. Congratulations. Thank you.
Congratulations, sir. While Doctor is still there, we would want him to receive on behalf of the former Vice President and our Chief Launcher. We didn't know when he left, the representative left. So you'll be presenting to your presidential candidate. Sir, please still be there. You're receiving on behalf of Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. Congratulations.
Special Recognition Award to Alhaji Atiku Abubakar Waziri Adamawa at Nigeria Digital Economy Prosperity Enabler as Nigeria Digital Economy Prosperity Enabler for championing the liberalization of telecom sector. This is actually true. Many of the, or a few of the players that played major role in the industry at that time were actually very heavily encouraged by the work of Alhaji Abubakar during his time as Vice President. So it's my pleasure to present this award on behalf of eWorld Media.
Congratulations. The role of the former Vice President was succinctly articulated in the book. We'll say congratulations. Thank you. All right, up next is Special Recognition Award to Professor Umaru Garba Dambata as icon of Nigeria's digital prosperity. Please, can we have engineer? Sir, Dr. Ekuwem, we're going to use you very well today. Please, you help us to present this to the EVC of the NCC. DJ, small music at the background.
On behalf of the eWorld Media, organizers of this forum, I have the singular honor and privilege to present to you Professor Umar Dambata, the award of the Icon of Nigeria's Digital Prosperity. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. At this point, Doctor, I'm not done. We want to invite the veteran journalist here. Please, sir, engineer, please don't go. This is for Dr. Emmanuel Ekuwem. While I also want the NCC to be here, I want the veteran journalist here to also join in presenting this award to our guy at the top when it comes to the pen pushing profession. Dr. Badaru, we don't put doctor too. Okay, yeah, you present. Mr. Former, please. Igbo, we call it the Akko Chase in the house. Is Mr. Remy Weke here? Hillary, please represent Dr. Bairo.
Okay. On behalf of eWorld, this is a special recognition award of Order of Excellence for impact on Nigeria's digital prosperity to Dr. Emmanuel Ekuwem.
Thank you very much, sir. All right, sir, our next goes to Main One. Main One, Special Recognition Award to Main One, Pillar of Nigeria's Digital. NCC, we will please do us the honors. We can allow Doctor to rest. So you do help us present this Pillar of Nigeria's Digital Evolution and Prosperity, presented to Main One.
Okay. On behalf of eWorld, this is presentation of Special Recognition Award to Main One as Pillar of Nigeria's Digital Evolution and Prosperity. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Thank you very much. While the NCC is still there, let's call on Engineer Gbenga Adebayo, ably represented today. Special Recognition Award. DJ Subtle.
On behalf of eWorld, this is a presentation of Special Recognition Award of Order of Excellence for impact on Nigeria's digital prosperity to Engineer Gbenga Adebayo. Congratulations.
Congratulations. And last but not the least, for this session we have for Mr. Mohammed Rudman of NIRA, ably represented by the beautiful Choma Keke.
eWorld presents this Special Recognition Award of Order of Excellence for impact on Nigeria's digital prosperity. So, Mr. Mohammed Rodman, congratulations.
Thank you very much. We also have special recognition for MTN. Thank you very much. Appreciation goes to Nira. Please, let's have ushers. Can I have that of MTN and 9 Mobile so that we can allow our engineer to go and sit while we also crave the indulgence of Mr. Agambi of Tech TV to get ready for the vote of thanks. A special recognition to MTN. MTN. We need representative of MTN. Mr. Hillary, please. Just help receive on behalf of MTN Nigeria. Thank you very much.
On behalf of eWorld, this is a presentation of Special Recognition Award to MTN as Industry Service Champion for remarkable impact on Nigeria's digital prosperity. Congratulations.
All right, on behalf of 9 Mobile, I want to invite the lady, one of our veterans, to please do us the honors of receiving on behalf of 9 Mobile. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Everywhere you go, Mr. Hillary, everywhere you go.
On behalf of eWorld, I present this Special Recognition Award to 9 Mobile as Industry Service Champion for remarkable impact on Nigeria's digital prosperity. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, sir. Please. Thank you very much. Please, a round of applause for the NCC for doing us that honors. All right, at this point, we are going to invite my Oga at the top that has taught me today that we should not be charge and bill journalists. As you have moved our Oga Aaron to Professor, so let me also call you Dr. Shino Badero. Please invite him for the vote of thanks. A round of applause for him, please. Thank you very much. It's been a long and interesting day, and we're wrapping up soon.
My job is pretty straightforward. Behind every successful and successfully executed idea, there's usually individuals, organizations, and institutions that stand beside you, behind you as pillars to ensure the successful execution of this great book that we're here to launch today. From all indications, you've all seen that it has gone well. It's been well attended by the pillars and shakers and movers of the industry. We've also been privy to the yesterday, today, and tomorrow of our industry. On behalf of the great initiator, a man of great ideas, the man that we have today bestowed the honor of professorship in perpetuity, Professor Aaron Okodie and his team at Ajo Media. We want to first of all appreciate the management and staff of MTN Nigeria, the leading mobile operator in Nigeria, an organization that was also ably represented here today by the chairman of that mobile network operator. We also want to recognize the support from one of the most resilient mobile network operator in Nigeria today, 9 Mobile. We equally want to express our appreciation to NCC. NCC has always, through the ages, proved to be the most reliable regulatory agency within the Nigerian government. NCC, thank you very much for the support. We equally want to recognize my wonderful team at the Nigeria Internet Registration Association. I thank you very much, and I thank you very much, Madam, for doing justice to our great organization with the representation that you have done today. I equally want to, on behalf of Ajo Media International, recognize the Internet Exchange Point of Nigeria, led by a fantastic gentleman called Mr. Muhammad Rodman. He couldn't be here today, but he's here with us in spirit and in other shape and form. we want to specially recognize a gentleman that we've learned today that has given strong leadership support to the mobile explosion that we've taken for granted today. During the Obasanjo administration, His Excellency Vice President Atiku Abubakar was responsible for leading and heading a lot of initiatives in that era that led to the reform of the telecoms industry. And today we're recognizing him as one of the key drivers. We want to, wherever he is, whether in Dubai or whichever part of the world, we want to say a very big thank you to Vice President Atiku Abubakar. We also want to again represent personally Engineer Ernest Ondukwe. I can see Dr. Emmanuel Ekwem there. Thank you very much, Dr. Ekwem. Thank you very much also the frontier thinker who was the innovator behind the smart card revolution in Nigeria, Mr. Demola Alade Komo, who couldn't be here today, but was ably represented. With those recognitions, if I want to individually begin to recognize all of you seated here today, we'll spend the next 2 hours. But let me do a special recognition to my Oga Pata Pata at the top. If I turned out to be a fantastic journalist today, they were my great tutors. He is also a distinguished member of my Unilag Mascom Alumni Association. I still get a lot of tutelage from him. Sir, I didn't know you were seated there. I want to especially thank you very much for all of the leadership and all of the mentorship. I'm sure that you all know who I'm talking about. Do you want me to mention his name? I should mention his name. They said there's no need, but sir, if they say there's no need, that means that you have global name recognition. Please stand up for recognition and applause, sir.
I need to say something about Oga Ted Iwere. You know, when we're writing the Guardian book, you know, when you are partnering with someone to write a book, it can be very challenging. So we had that vision that, look, it's going to be challenging. So we asked him to come and manage us. Because he's my Oga, and he's also the Oga of my partner. So he's the one that manages us. When you saw the success of that book, was it not for Oga Ted Iwere, that book wouldn't have come out. He managed us as a lawyer, as a journalist, as Oga. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. My colleagues, both senior and junior in NITRA, wherever you are, where is the president of NITRA? I want to specially recognize you, Chike, and all the great work that you're doing in NITRA. I want to also say that when I started journalism, there were very few men in the trade. But today we see quite a wonderful growing tribe of women, Bume, and are wonderful compare for today. May your tribe continue to increase. A lot of you that I don't know by name, but I can identify by face recognition. Friends and family, colleagues of Professor Aaron Nikodie, thank you very much for turning up. Thank you very much for making this day a success. Thank you very much, everybody. I wish you God's journey mercies back home to your various destinations. Have a wonderful day. DJ, music. Oh, okay. Okay, I understand. Okay. Okay. Before we leave, may I kindly just ask that you kindly indulge me for a minute on behalf of the Ajo Media global media empire, may I invite the representative of Digivation Network, Mr. Hilary Damisa, the eWorld Special Recognition Award for Media Excellence for Quality Content and Enlightenment for the Growth of Nigeria's Digital Economy is hereby presented to Digivation Network, founded by my very good friend, Dr. Bayero Agabi. Is not here today, but is ably represented by a man most distinguished in, I want to tell you a secret today. This man is most distinguished in the art, craft, science of praying. If you want a prayer warrior, Hilary Damisa qualifies beyond. So, Hilary, please, on behalf of eWorld, kindly deliver this to your colleagues at the for the great work that you guys are doing. May I kindly invite a gentleman who made a presentation a while ago. May I invite you to come here. I want to tell you all a short story. In the tech space, or in the federal government of Nigeria, there's a poster boy agency that if you need information, and I'm talking real data, if you need to do analytics of the telecoms industry in Nigeria, you don't have to leave your computer. You don't need to leave your mobile phone. You get all the information up to date on the NCC website. Not only has the NCC proved to be a leading regulatory agency for telecommunication in Nigeria, they have exceeded all expectations across Nigeria, Africa, and beyond. They're a strategic partner to ITU, the UN specialized agency for ICT across the world, because of the fantastic work that the men and women in NCC are doing. On behalf of eWorld, this is a special recognition to NCC for the great work that you guys are doing at NCC, and it is the Special Recognition Award for Media Excellence for Quality Content and Enlightenment for the Growth of Nigeria's Digital Economy, which we're presenting to the Nigerian Communications Commission on behalf of Ajo Media today. Thank you very much, NCC, for the great work that you're doing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, my Oga at the top, for doing justice to that vote of thanks.
All right. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, in the first two lines of Professor Aaron Ukodie's acknowledgement, he stated, "My profound gratitude to God, who through his Holy Spirit often gives me ideas and grants the enablement to actualize them." Right here in this hall is a significant representation of the faith circle where Professor Aaron Ukodie belongs. I want to crave the indulgence of all members of Redeeming Love Chapel to please make their way forward for a group photograph with our very own professor. Please, all members of Redeeming Love Chapel, kindly make your way forward. Kindly make your way forward. All members of Redeeming Love Chapel, kindly make your way forward.
Let's appreciate
Grab
them.
a copy of the book and a group photograph with the Professor Aaron Ukodie. Thank you very much.
DJ, please.
copy of the book, the reason we are here today. Thank you very much. All members of Redeeming Love Chapel, please hold on to a copy. Please hold on to a copy. And just like Louisa said the other time, when it's time to drop it, we know what to do.
Just 20K.
All right. Are we all? 5G. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Please, if you are yet to get a copy of this book, it goes for just 20,000 naira, and you'll be supporting a professor's ministry to move to the permanent site. At this juncture, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we want to call it a day, and we say we appreciate us all for taking our time to be here to honor the author of today's book. My name is Louisa Olani, and it was my utmost pleasure to do this with the delectable Zoe
Octavia
Obaze. Interesting. And do have yourself a fantastic 5G journey back home.
That would mean that you would be home in 5 minutes.
I wish.
All right, thank you so very much for coming out. You've been a most amazing audience. So till we see again, because we know that definitely the professor would leave up to his new, what do we call it now? His new name. There would definitely be another book launch, and we'd all be there. God sparing our lives. Thank you, and thank you once again. Safe journey back home.
Recording stopped.